Пошли. Все вместе. Какие ваши доказательства?
They want you to comply.
Cancel culture is about canceling.
Кокаином.
Up yours. Woke moralists. Up yours.
This is systematic bullying that's happening.
Woke moralists. Up yours.
And they believe that they can then
Woke
shut us
moralists.
up.
Up yours. Woke moralists.
They seem animalistic is what I mean.
No, they're worse than animals.
The woke mob, they ruin everything.
They stop Ben Shapiro from going to events and speaking. They stop Ann Coulter from doing it.
I will never surrender even a single inch of ground to a pitchfork mob.
You never cave to the mob.
We will never bow to the mob. Ever. No matter what.
Do you see the final expression of cancel culture in terrorist groups like
Up yours.
We'll see who cancels who.
Hi, everybody.
What's up?
How we doing? Pretty eventful day today. Everyone say hello to Benjamin Dixon.
Hello, Ben. This is awesome having Ben on the show. This is great.
Yeah, I feel like everybody knows Ben by now, but Ben, if they don't, let them know who you are.
I mean, I'm just me, man. Ben Dixon, host of the Benjamin Dixon Show podcast. Been doing it for years now, and sometimes an outcast on the left, or this new left, whatever this thing is that's happening on Twitter and social media left these days. But just a rabble rouser, just doing
the
my
new
thing.
left. Am I of the new left, Ben?
I don't know. I don't know how you all categorize it. Like, I consider you all to be the new left, but then there's this other left that's, anyway, it's a whole thing. Forget I even mentioned it.
They're just freaks. They're not even left. They're just like freaks.
Right.
Yeah. And Ben Dixon has been calling the dummies out for so long. I trust Ben's intuition more than my own, honestly.
Listen, but it doesn't pay. It doesn't pay to be right all the time. Sometimes you pay the price to be right. But you know what it is? It's really good to see what you all are doing over here at Leftist Mafia, because I mean, there's a lot of powerful folks on the screen. So thanks for having me on.
Happy to have you for sure.
Appreciate that power. I like it.
Don't let it go to your head, Matt.
Ben's one of the first shows I was
ever
on.
It's too late.
Ben's show is one of the first shows I was ever on, actually, in 2020.
Oh, nice.
And that's how me and Rebecca Zor met. Then they all know that is my girl. She's already been here. So yes, I already love Ben.
It's amazing.
Love you too, Olay. And how did I mean, I love Rebecca. You know, Rebecca's my girl, but how did she get here before me? You know what? Ladies first.
You know, that's my good sis. You know, you be a kikiing. Like, literally, I already
she's coming up on your show soon too, right?
Yes.
Yes.
She's gonna be on my episode this week. I actually texted her today. I stay bothering Rebecca. I texted her today, like, I have an idea to pitch to you later, miss. Signed, a bitch who's always trying to be in your career. LMAO. Like, and she's like, yes, ma'am. Here you go. I'm with it though. Like, she just puts up with me.
I love it.
That's amazing.
There's a lot of news today.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
From Pat Robertson to Trump indictment to wildfires and haze and all that.
Voters' rights coming back.
Voters,
yeah.
Surprising
Before we
there.
begin, can we just take a moment of silence for Pat Robertson? I know you're all devastated in the chat today. We're all very sad that he died. You know, I just want to be respectful here.
I can't. On the timeline.
There's the headline from Rolling Stone.
Yeah, right. Seems like, well, we know where he's at.
Wow.
For 9/11. Yeah.
Probably, I think the only accurate headline I saw of this.
People for that. Wow.
Yeah. One of the worst things that he ever said was in 2010 when Haiti had their massive earthquake. He said that it was because they were like worshiping demons or something like that, basically saying that they deserved it.
The devil.
Yeah, 10,000 people died, and he said that shit.
Yeah, none of that surprises me. Horrific white people do horrific white people shit. That don't shock me none. What's really crazy is just the particular like choices of action. Like if I thought somebody worshiped demons, you feel like I would slander them publicly? You feel like if I thought a whole people
the power of demons
could bring calamity, like really, you might want to chill. And how exactly? I'm trying to figure out, like, because 9/11 in and of itself, the mainstream narratives on 9/11 were prejudice in and of themselves. But how'd they get the gay people? How'd they get gay people in that? What could gay people? How do you tie y'all in?
Evangelicals can't find any issue that they won't blame on the LGBTQIA community. So, when the aliens show up, it'll be because of the gay community.
And fun fact about Pat Robertson. So when I was a kid and indoctrinated into evangelicalism and conservatism and stuff, so Pat Robertson had this special on how evil Halloween was, and he was offering free books. I don't know if it was for kids specifically, but I was so brainwashed, I willingly called and ordered that free book, and I read most of it. That's where I was mentally. So to be here, it was mostly just bullshit. Like a lot of the stuff was, I mean, I don't remember a lot of it, but I just remember thinking like, wow, Halloween is evil, and I did not celebrate after that. So lots and lots of, I remember seeing like anti-trans
How old were
segments.
You then?
I was probably like 11, I want to say, maybe 12, around that age. I remember the anti-trans segments where they tried to like tie trans people to bestiality. Wild. And I remember thinking, man, these gay and trans people are sickos. Like, wow, this is crazy. So I'm very happy that Pat Robertson is now with Lord Satan, and I hope that he helps him a little bit more. Give him a couple extra points for us.
I used to watch Pat Robertson a little bit growing up. He was, my family is religious, still religious to this day, but we watched him for a minute. He was always strange to me. He stood out a little bit worse than even like the John Hagees at the time, because he really did go straight for the political blood. You know what I mean? He played dirty, but he wrapped it in this real nice old grandpa shtick. But every now and then he would do some takes that were just as disgusting as what you mentioned, man. So, my mother said, if you can't say anything nice about somebody, don't say anything at all. So I don't have anything to say about Pat Robertson.
I got plenty to say.
I have nothing nice to say about Pat Robertson. I'll yield to you.
To me, like the demon stuff is pretty like normal for some of these like evangelical preachers and stuff. To me, the more the Pat Robertson, and I'm like I mentioned to you guys before we started, I'm going to struggle here to not accidentally say Robert Pattinson at some point, but Pat Robertson was like, he would come up with the most wild segments to just start talking about. Like, to me, the one that sticks out, it was like in 2013, he claimed that gay people wore a secret AIDS ring that they would use to cut people and give them AIDS.
No, you know what's crazy?
Wow.
The Bahamas is a constitutionally Christian nation, and I'm really realizing how deeply, like, well, I know that's problematic. We have a Christian council, trust. I know. But I'm listening to that. When you said that just now, I was like, I heard that. I'm like, I heard of that, and I'm like, I wonder if this has something in common with growing up in a Christian nation, because the story was, instead, there was this movie theater on Prince Charles Drive, and there was a rumor that there was needles like in the chair when you sit down, and that you would just get AIDS. I remember that, and when you said that just now, I was like, there's a Christian upbringing in the background of my stories. I see this. Okay, proceed, Bender. See the influence.
I mean, yeah, he had some really wild takes over the years. And he also had moments where he would get very confused and seem to accidentally advocate for something else. Like, there's a few segments out there where he seemed genuinely confused as to whether he was against a person because he couldn't tell if they were a trans woman or a trans man, and then he would come off sounding like accidentally being like pro-trans rights for a minute or two. There's some weird like videos out there, him being very confused. I mean, the guy is fucking old. Like, he was freaking old. 93 years old. And he didn't retire. He retired fairly recently too. So this guy was like on that studio floor set doing his shtick. Sometimes his co-host would have to literally walk him through the segment. Like, it was just bizarre stuff.
I was just reading through browsing through this piece. After a gunman killed 60 people in Las Vegas in 2017, Robertson blamed disrespect for Trump. Like, this is just how far the insanity goes.
He used to say you could get AIDS from towels. That was another big one. He's like, if you ever go to Kenya, make sure you don't touch some of the towels because you can get AIDS from the towels there. You know, like he was a constant mix of homophobia and racism. Like it's just a career of homophobia and racism over and over and over.
I don't remember who I saw say this, if it was on Twitter or if it was on the Majority Report earlier when I was on, but someone said, you know, what Matt Walsh is right now to trans people is Pat Robertson to just the LGBT community overall back in the 90s and early 2000s. Like, he was the guy leading the charge when all these states were coming out banning gay marriage back before there was all of a sudden this push to, well, not all of a sudden, but that there was this final push to actually legalize it in the country.
Yeah, he had a lot of influence. Like, Zoomers are lucky to not really be familiar with him, but you know, everyone else, those of us millennials, he was a huge influence. And yeah, to say that he is, I'm glad that he's gone would be an understatement. I want to find where he is buried and pee on his grave, take a dump on it. I can't be, you know, again, like the man lived to be 93 years old, very wealthy. I mean, he lived
a full happy life, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But clearly didn't do enough. But clearly didn't do enough evil to extend his life as long as Henry Kissinger been able to. Right? Yeah. Like, I feel like it seems like the worse you are, the longer you live. Yeah. And so I think we can all go by that rank now. And yeah, Pat Robertson, 93 years old, must have been a really bad guy, but not Henry Kissinger level bad.
Right. Henry Kissinger. Yeah. I saw a meme about the Grim Reaper. He was like on one of those, you know, those stuffed animal machines, like the little claw machines. And he's like, is Henry Kissinger even in this thing? He's like, oh, okay, I'll take Pat Robertson. It's really wild. It's really wild. Yeah.
So, how about that Trump indictment? What do we think about that?
You mean the second one, right? Number 2, the sequel.
The federal one.
I think it's a mistake for them to try to neutralize Trump before he is taking out DeSantis, because I think DeSantis will beat Biden, but I don't think Trump will beat Biden. So I think we need to pump the fucking brakes. Let's let him win the primary first.
I 100% agree. At the same time, like, you know, the law is the law. The guy belongs in jail.
The law's a lot of good fuck with that.
Ole's going to file official proceedings to get them to back off Donald Trump.
We do like juggle these two things, right? Because he belongs in jail at the same time. He's the best shot at Biden not losing. Yeah. Right. So it's just like,
can you guys pull up David? Can you pull up the post that he put up?
The law.
No, put up the post. Yeah.
I'll bring it.
Because it is fantastic. It is fantastic, Trump. Well, first of all, I want you all to take a good look and notice that is one sentence. There's no period.
Amazing. No semicolons either.
Second of all, I absolutely love the capital letters on boxes and hoax so that it's an official name. The Boxes Hoax. I love that. So good. And also, he capitalizes the word boxes every time. He thinks boxes is like an official name or something.
Well, you could tell he wrote this one then, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Does somebody want to read it?
Go to the second one too.
Sure.
Wait, we should read this one
first.
All right,
let's read it. Yeah, let's read it. All right. Who does the best Trump?
I think either Lance.
I do not. So someone.
Or you, Matt.
I
don't have a successful Trump impersonation. I'm going to defer to you guys.
If I try to do Trump, it'll end up sounding like Bernie's been indicted. So I better back off.
Lance, do you have a good Trump?
All right. Here we go.
Okay, I'm ready.
Page 1.
It's pretty good.
Biden administration has informed
louder
that I've been indicted, seemingly over the Boxes hoax, Even though Joe Biden had 1850 boxes at the University of Delaware, additional boxes in Chinatown, D.C., even more boxes at the University of Pennsylvania. The documents are strewn all over the garage floor where the part... where he parks his Corvette. And which is secure only by a garage door that is paper thin and open a much of the time.
That's so good.
That is pretty good.
Really good. That was amazing.
Yeah, it was good.
Here's page 2, if you can keep it going.
Part 2. I've been summoned to appear at the full courthouse of Miami to convey that I never thought it possible that such a thing could happen to a former president of the United States who's received far more votes than any sitting president in the history of our country and is currently leading by far for all candidates, both Democrat, Republican, in the polls of the 2024 presidential election.
I am an innocent man.
We're all innocent men.
I think there's one more.
You actually managed to make him sound intelligent there, Lance. That was
What a dark day.
This is indeed a dark day for the United States of America. We are a country in a serious rapid decline, but together we will make America great again.
Child,
Bravo.
please. Listen. Okay. Alrighty. I mean, listen. I'm a keep it G real. If it weren't Trump, I wouldn't give a fuck. Like in terms of like the actual accusation, like the taking the document. If it weren't, no, wait, let's be real. I'm not somebody. I don't need integrity and all of this stuff to just be real about what my position is. It's fuck Trump, right? Trump is a dangerous white supremacist who is dangerous to the country. He is a far right fool, and that is why I wish him nothing good in the world. And that is why I am okay with people coming after Trump. It is not because innately I'm like, ooh, the law is the law. Ooh, you took the document. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. If you told me somebody I liked it, I'd be like, I don't care. Like, that's nothing to do with anything. So for me, I'm like, do what you got to do to him. Just maybe let's get that demon DeSantis out of the way. Let's just make sure that threat is neutralized first. That's all I'm saying, because I don't care what nobody says. That man is a danger to us, because the reason because Trump has the law around it, people are mobilized to know what they don't want. People never voted for Biden. They voted against Trump. So if they get DeSantis, who playing the old political game of giving them like stush and boring in the way that they think, but he doing all the far right, wicked right shit that is very dangerous to us. So I just feel like, hey, let's maybe table it. That's all I'm saying. Table it. But whatever.
Yeah.
So far, DeSantis, I think, he's like a wet noodle. I mean,
not that you don't care about
he's doing it to himself,
no,
right?
Like
he's doing terribly. Like
DeSantis
announced, I don't think it even boosted his campaign. Like in terms of the polls, like after he announced, he's kind of just stayed the same. He's just a terrible campaigner so far.
Yeah, he didn't get that announcement bump.
Yeah, but
this is what happens when you have your announcement on Twitter Spaces. You know, that's what happens when you announce on Twitter Spaces.
But I think if they manage to get Trump out of the way, they will solidify around DeSantis enough to get him past his personality problems. Like he absolutely has no charisma, but the Republican Party is really good at making mass consensus, right? So everybody will all of a sudden think that he's the most charismatic person in the country. But that's only if they get Trump out of the way, because Trump shines a light at just how uncharismatic that dude really is.
Because they didn't start saying that shit about DeSantis until Trump started getting like his gears were running. They loved the evil like Dementor. They was feeling that. They was fucking with him. They only started saying this stuff when Trump came out like, hey, y'all know this guy's a big fucking loser. And they were like, oh, maybe he's a loser. Like that's the only reason. But if Trump go away, they'd be like, my man Mike. Wait, what's his name? Ron.
There's also Mike Pence, who's also announced. I mean, and Chris Christie.
Right. I'm curious. Who do you think out of all the announced Republicans is the least destructive? Like putting aside whether or not they can win, like who's the least destructive to you?
Trump.
Because I don't know.
Trump.
You think Trump?
Yeah, I do.
Like if he won, you mean he's the least destructive?
Yes. Right? Think about what is Trump's legacy as president? Those 3 Supreme Court justices. That's strictly stroke of luck.
Tax rate too.
You think Trump is the least destructive?
Yes, I do. Of all those guys, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Oh, you weren't an immigrant.
Even least like
I was. It hit.
What he does culturally, though, I think is not.
Oh well, yeah. I'm talking strictly. I'm talking strictly politics.
I think Chris Christie is
in terms of that. I'd probably agree.
Because I'm thinking Chris Christie. If we're
I was going to say Chris Christie.
It's obviously Chris Christie. Mm-hmm. And Chris Christie will get down. Trust me, Chris Christie. They got rid of cash bail got abolished in New Jersey in 2014 under Chris Christie. He will do some slick shit, some slick progress, because they ain't paying no attention to him about it. You know what I mean? Chris Christie is the least destructive of them all. You know why? Because Chris Christie is a petty little gremlin. He is too busy doing in-party shit, like trying to get niggas back. He always trying to get his lick back on somebody for something else. He's busy. He loves Republican violence.
Yeah, but think about how Christie was able to shut down the bridge. Imagine what he could do if he was president. I mean, the dude's petty as hell.
I honestly believe DeSantis was forged in hell. There's no doubt in my mind. Look at my face. I'm so serious. Like DeSantis is a scary prospect. I truly gives me. I am the warden of the prison of Azkaban. That's what he gives me. I don't like that. That doesn't. You know what shit he does? He does.
Well, he oversaw torture at Guantanamo Bay as a former JAG officer. So
yes,
that's right up his alley. Like
he was a torture whisperer.
Yes, he's very scary. He's a scary man.
Yeah, when they were playing good cop, bad cop, he was the bad cop doing torture. I mean, the man is pure evil. Yeah, by choice. He is pure evil. Yeah. I think he's a sociopath probably.
And he don't crack jokes.
I fear if he were to get
anybody that's wicked and don't crack jokes is a scary person. Like that means they don't take their eye off the prize. Like I haven't seen that nigga giggle once. He just be, I woke up to do bad. I'm here to do evil shit. Like I'm committed. Like invested. I think DeSantis is very scary. I think Chris Christie is it for me.
Yeah, I'll accept Christie. I agree with the Christie one in a sense. For me, I just think Trump he just can't get anything done. He's not an operator like any of those guys. Like Christie will make deals. He'll cut deals. He'll be able to work with the Republicans to to pass whatever they'd want. Trump couldn't do that.
What about Tim Scott?
It's not about the deals, though. The MAGA Republicans are rallied around the far right in this country are rallied around whiteness. Whiteness is a contract, white supremacy, and that. What they are interested in is rhetoric. What is being mobilized is all the hate, is all the division. We see that. That's why Elon Musk want to take over Twitter. We see all these different things. We know that that's what it's really about, and Trump gives them that. If that's what you truly want, they get that. They get that in emboldenment. So that's what I think they want from him more than they want policy or any of that stuff. I think they want wickedness in rhetoric, and they want to be they want to feel stoked to climb the walls of the Capitol. That's what they're looking to do, and they're like next time.
Right, but those things hurt Republicans with the vast majority of American people. Yes. So, but like Christie, he'll get in. He'll put that sheen on the Republican Party. Maybe he won't openly be as extreme as a Trump would, but he'll put that sheen on Republicans to make them look normal, and then they'll pass some of the most horrible shit you could ever imagine. Like I'm not saying this as a defense because I like Trump or think he's a good guy. I'm saying this because he is so bad at being president and actually like working with other people that I think him as president means the least bad shit will get done.
Is this?
I do have this clip from Christie. I'm curious if you guys think this will have any impact at all on Republican voters. I'm going to say no.
Is this recent?
Chris Christie.
Yes, this is after he announced. So he's going after Trump, and he's not holding back
right now. From Batman.
Let me tell you something, everybody. The grift from this family is breathtaking. It's breathtaking. Jared Kushner and Ivanka Kushner walk out of the White House and months later get $2 billion from the Saudis. $2 billion from the Saudis. You think it's because he's some kind of investing genius? Or do you think it's because he was sitting next to the President of the United States for 4 years doing favors for the Saudis? That's your money. That's your money he stole and gave it to his family. You know what that makes us? A banana republic. That's what it makes us. So he may get 30% again. I'm not sure. Maybe he'll get more. Maybe he'll get less. But let me tell you what he'll know in 2024 that he had no idea of in 2016. He's in for a fight to get it.
If I'm very honest, if I put the hater in my soul away, I'm going to be honest with y'all. Like as an orator, as a litigator, that's a good job. Like whether or not it won't move the needle of fucking them people didn't give a fuck. No one gives a fuck. No one at all. They didn't give a fuck. Anyone who said no one gives a fuck. But That's a good job, just objectively, because it's him and that's how the world is. It's because it's Chris Christie doing it. No one gives a fuck. But if that was on billions, it would be moving.
He lost all of his cachet. He's a nobody now, especially in the Republican Party. He's.
I totally forgot about him.
He's got nothing that they're looking for. Also, that speech, while you might think it's good, it's bullshit. The dude worked for the Trump administration. Talk about literal Jared Kushner was cutting deals with the Saudis when he was sitting beside the president. Yeah, you were sitting right next to them too. He was the chair of their opioid commission. Great job, Chris Christie.
You were in the room the whole time.
Right. Yeah, and then he turned down offers. Like, he was offered Secretary of like Homeland Security or something like that, and another thing, and he turned it down, not because he didn't want to work for the Trump administration, because he was holding out for the AG position. He wanted to be Attorney General.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I feel like that's one of the reasons. I feel like Christie is actually there to just attack Trump. I honestly feel like he's there to clear a way for Ron DeSantis, because as much as we know Ron DeSantis is evil, he is the establishment pick. And Chris Christie, if he's nothing else, he's still establishment. He may not be, popular amongst the popular side of the Republican Party, but he still has enough pull in the establishment to be able to go in there and do exactly that. Because everyone knows Christie doesn't stand a snowball's chance in hell, just like anyone else. But he is really good at getting into the mud like Donald Trump. So if anybody on the debate stage could actually kind of handle Trump in that way, it would be Christie.
That's a really good point. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll get in some, he'll get some good knocks on Trump on the debate stage, but Trump will like that's the thing though. Chris Christie, his lane is being the bully, but he just happened to jump into the presidential race in 2016 when the biggest bully of them all decided to run, Donald Trump, and then you're no longer like. You're not the big bully if Trump's there with you. You're just going to be the second fiddle to him. It's impossible to outdo Trump as the bully.
But Trump is weak now. Trump is extra weak now, so he's a bully, but he's a wounded shark. So I think that they smell blood in the water.
Trump will just turn to him during the debate and call him fat, and the crowd will laugh, and then that'll be the end of Chris Christie. I mean, I hate to say it, but that's exactly.
They will laugh.
Yeah,
it's a good
Chris Christie will.
It's going to be.
Chris Christie will try to come up with some he'll deliver a zinger that he spent all-nighters trying to come up with, and he'll hit Trump with it. The crowd will be like, "Oh!" and then Trump will just look at him and say he's fat, and that's it. Chris Christie will be laughed off the stage. The end.
So he's already done that. Let me find this clip. I saw this. So Christie was on CNN, and here. This is part of their interview.
In response to you running, ran a rather mocking video on social media. But there it is. It's you. I guess he's making fun of your weight.
Oh wow!
So stupid.
That's so lo-fi.
Yeah.
What did you make of that? What was your response to that?
When I saw Jake, I just renewed in my own mind what a child he is.
See, pause it.
You can't run defense.
That's not gonna play on the stage.
It's never gonna work.
Trump's gonna call him a name, and he's gonna go, us mature adults up here won't be listening to this baby talk. And the crowd's gonna go, boo! Trump.
Yeah. There's those people are lost. Like, this I guess it's like a different conversation, but can you ever get those people back? Are they just, is 30% of the country just gone forever? Like, are their brains just mush now? Is that it?
Oh, because of MAGA? Like, just because the whole MAGA movement?
They're gone. Yeah.
I do think that number is smaller, because I do think there's a difference between people who just go out and vote in a general election and then like the hardcore. Like, whatever the primary numbers are for the Republican primary, that's the Republicans that are gone. General election Republicans, I mean, it still sucks that they're probably still not great people that they're voting for Trump or whoever is the Republican, but I don't think they're the same, because a lot of people go out and vote in a general election who just don't pay attention to politics at all, and they'll maybe vote based on like who their uncle or next door neighbor told them was a good candidate. It's just how it is. And bless those people who aren't in a political bubble. I am jealous.
Did y'all see the AI video that came out today that all the right wingers are like losing their minds over?
I didn't see it yet, but I heard that it was basically of Trump hugging Dr. Fauci, right? And
Yeah,
DeSantis released this.
Okay, I'll see if I can.
That's
find it.
controversy in the Republican primary. A fake video of Trump hugging Fauci.
Oh my God!
But I was surprised to see that they actually care about that, at least that much integrity, right? Like I don't even know how to accept the fact that the Republicans are offended by someone doing something nefarious. Like this is what you all do. So.
You know what? We talked about this earlier in the majority report. I don't remember if it was Matt Leck or Brandon Sutton or Emma who said this, but I do think this is the case. Look at the people who came out and made a big deal over these stupid AI generated images of Trump hugging and kissing Fauci. It was like who? Tim Pool and a bunch of those other guys.
Yeah, Tim Pool also shit over it.
But here's the thing, and this is what they mentioned. I think this is exactly it. They see DeSantis is not taking off. And instead of having to deal with that and admitting that this is not the guy, they're using this completely irrelevant, unimportant AI imagery thing to jump ship. Wow. And this gives them the perfect out to fucking drop DeSantis and go back home to Daddy Trump.
You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're all fired. All four are fired. You're fired. I didn't want you You're fired. The day I walk in, I hear I'm going to fire him. I'm not firing him. I think he's a wonderful guy.
Should you have fired Fauci?
So a lot of people ask me that question, and I did it right. Because if you do fire him, you're going to have a firestorm on the left again.
Why did you feel unable to fire Fauci?
Personally, you're not allowed to.
Every time he goes on television, there's always a bomb. But there's a bigger bomb if you fire him.
Frankly,
some of those
you can't win that one. If I would have done it, I would have taken heat. Win that one.
So these are the photos that
fair,
they freaked out over.
that is very disingenuous because I thought that the whole thing would be like AI, so you know. But if you don't know it's AI, then not. I mean, they look fake, but a boomer Republican is going to see this and not think anything about it, So yeah, this is very deceitful.
I also think some are real. If I'm not wrong, some are real and some are fake. Like
the fake ones are upper left hand side, the bottom middle, and the bottom right hand side. Yes, the ones where Trump is planting a smooch on Fauci. Yes, those are the ones that aren't real.
It's also really poorly done. Anyone else look at this and be like their social media team, when they announced, they wrote out their social media team, Christina Pashaw and all of them really kind of try to act as though they were the vanguard of social media and memes. And this is really low quality. So if they weren't going to jump ship for any other reasons, like their social media team really, really sucks because that wasn't even worth the headache that they're going to get from this now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the DeSantis campaign is really bad on literally every level, like in terms of the preparation, the launch, the candidate.
That's his whole platform right now. It's like, what do you offer? Well, I defeated wokeness. That's it. It's like, how did you, what?
Also, how many Republicans, listen, I still get the whole lockdown thing is a big deal to Republicans, and I get the whole COVID measures and how look what we had to do and all that stuff. But how many Republicans actually still care about Fauci, specifically Fauci? This is such a small, focused issue. And also, like, the video starts with strongman Trump. Like, that's how they're opening this video. Trump saying, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired to a bunch of people. Like, that's not a good attack ad. Like, you got to get to halfway through the video to get to their point. Yeah.
That part. And one other thing real quick is what's so sad about this is that Ron DeSantis is this evil and this bad. He is actually outpositioning Trump on issue. Trump is actually right. When we break this down, no matter how people try to change the narrative, Fauci did what was needed at the time. They're trying to attack him now in retrospect, for what we did, that we did for COVID-19. The entire world is trying to say to us that that was wrong and we shouldn't have done it at all, particularly Ron DeSantis' campaign, to the point where Donald Trump has had to defend even the vaccine. So it just feels completely insane that Donald Trump has a rational position on the vaccine just by accident, by the fact that Ron DeSantis is trying to attack him on it. It's wild.
It feels like we're living in the Twilight Zone.
No one gives a fuck about you.
The upside down.
Unfortunately, most of this country doesn't even give a fuck about the fact that we're still in a pandemic. They don't give a fuck about Fauci. No one cares. No one cares. I think DeSantis' original strategy made sense before if Trump would have respected that he's not supposed to be running for president, right? Like in a normal world, I understand what Ron DeSantis was trying to do. He was trying to get like that MAGA Trump base, and he kind of had them at first on being as alt-right as possible by doing all this wicked shit, but by having a very muted persona so that the larger, public and the moderates and the centrists and the people who could be swayed and stuff would go for him. And if Trump would not be around here acting like going on tour doing foolishness, he would be, if it weren't for them meddling Trumps, he would be fine. So I think that's what happened. That's what fucked up his strategy. And unfortunately, instead of switching up and realizing he needs to be charismatic and he needs to go big or go home, instead he's getting with losers like Elon Musk and still trying to play to like that alt-right internet world. And no one gives a fuck about them. No one cares about the Twitter blue Elon Musk battle in the real fucking world, you moron. Twitter space, you dumb dummy. Like, what are you doing, dummy? Dummy, get a PR person, idiot.
Both the ads, by the way, like Donald Trump's ad and DeSantis' ad, they're both about emasculation. Like I've seen in both directions. I think that's going to be like a constant thing. And Trump was huge on that. Like I never thought we'd see the day where like people are comparing the size of their dicks in a presidential election, but we're there now. Like that's just like this huge theme they love to do on the right.
I think we've been there
that
for
was
a while,
2016, wasn't it? That's running debate moment.
Yeah,
that's running for president in
that's
general. This has been since the beginning of time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay, I forgot about that myself. Wow.
There's no problem down there. I can guarantee it.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
God,
man.
I hate this country so much.
I hate this timeline, bro. Like this timeline we're in is wild.
But before we get to Doomer, we did have really shockingly good news today with the Supreme Court. I did a video on this and nobody watched it, but it's very important. So in the Allen v.
Mike, what's nobody to you? What's nobody to you? What's the actual view number?
Like 3,000, 4,000 at the time that
y'all see Mike doesn't appreciate y'all. That is 3,004.
I appreciate you all.
Mike does not give a fuck about. Mike said nobody watched it, fucking loser.
Just comparatively speaking, you know what I mean? But it's very good news. It was Allen v. Milligan, and basically the Voting Rights Act survived. And I thought it was going to be dealt a death blow. Roberts has, for many, many years, been against it. He wrote 24 memos when he was the attorney for Ronald Reagan saying that it's not good. He voted to narrow the Voting Rights Act. But not only did they vote to save it, him and Kavanaugh, shockingly, but they reaffirmed its importance in his majority ruling, which is just insane. And part of it is that I think that the Republicans in Alabama who drew those district lines, they were just so brazen. So basically, for those of you who don't know, in Alabama, basically the number of black voters is, I think, almost a third now. But of the 7 districts, they have one. Okay. So Republicans basically carved up this major majority black city, and they made all of those voters be in majority white districts, still giving them just one representative throughout the entire state. And it was so brazen that I feel like the Supreme Court, I mean, as much as they don't care about legitimacy, I mean, to under these circumstances shoot down the Voting Rights Act, I mean, it'd be shameless, but we all expected it anyway, and it didn't happen. They upheld it, and it's shocking. And what's great is that this is going to have implications for other states like Georgia, Louisiana. So it's really, really positive news. I mean, we don't get a lot of good news about democracy in the United States. This is one of those moments where I think it's a huge, huge victory. So I was completely taken aback by this because we never have good news in this fucking country. So,
I do wonder if there's any relation here to that vote or that decision from last week that was 8-1, that anti-union result. And we were all wondering, why would Sotomayor and Kagan vote with Republicans on that? You have to think there's maybe some politicking behind the scenes, possibly, because it is, as you said, it's a surprising result, right? That happened today. So this is the one that happened last week,
right?
that was, we were all surprised it was 8-1 because it didn't make any. I mean, I guess not all that surprised because when it comes to organized labor, they never win. But even to even lose Sotomayor on this was kind of surprising. But I don't know.
Is that a thing that happens? They barter. They do trades for.
It's hard to know how results. Yeah. They live such secret lives.
Like, said last week.
I mean, I would not trust those guys. Can you imagine, like, hey, you guys vote against this union thing with us, and we'll hit you up for the Voting Rights Act next week, all right? pinky promise. Cross my heart, hope to die, swear. I would not trust that for a second.
Wow.
Well, I agree with you. At the same time, why did they support this? Why were they on board voting with the left on this on this recent one? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Out of character. Roberts basically did a 180. Like, that's the Chief Justice did a 180. That's insane. I don't get it. I like it, but I don't get it. I'm confused. I hope it keeps happening. But yeah, it's very shocking in a good way.
I think maybe it's more so that Roberts is really thinking about his legacy and his Supreme Court's legacy way more than like they cut a deal with Sotomayor to vote that way. I think
Roberts is one vote, right? Like,
well, he could convince he could sit down and talk with Kavanaugh and Gorsuch and those and try to figure out which one of you is gonna throw me a bone here, and then I'll hit you up next time around when you need me or something like that. They definitely cut deals. I just don't think it was Sotomayor cutting the deal with them. I think it was Roberts cutting deals with the other conservatives so that specific cases that he didn't want to be on his legacy, part of his legacy, would go a certain way. That's what I think more than anything. Roberts is the one cutting the deals for his own, how history remembers him in his court.
Yeah, the court has such a legitimacy problem that if they had sided in this case, so you have to understand Roberts is why we're here in the first place. Shelby versus Holder back in 2015, when they gutted the Voting Rights Act and then gave these southern states, the ability to gerrymander in a way without having to check with the Department of Justice. You know what I mean? So he started this spiral, and I think now with just how brazen the Supreme Court is with these ethical violations and Clarence Thomas, he really can't afford another stain on his image on this court, because this particular court is really presiding over the decline of the empire. And so I'm imagining, I'm with you, Matt. I think he's just trying to save face here, especially with a case that, while it is extremely beneficial and helpful, it still is just putting a Band-Aid on the damage that he initially caused himself.
Yeah. Although Tara in the chat made a really good point that we haven't seen the student loan decision yet, so we're gonna get knifed that way.
Right. Biden just vetoed the original. What did he veto? He vetoed the $20,000 that was taken away from him. Sorry, I don't understand how it goes to the courts now. That was the part I didn't get. Like, I got why
that was a different
he vetoed
bill.
No. I'm talking about the one. Are you talking about the student loans where like Kirsten Sinema voted on it, Joe Manchin voted on it, and then I think one other person joined the Republicans. But then today, the news just came out that Joe Biden vetoed that vote, which means it now goes to the Supreme Court, I think, in that order.
Well, there's a different case that was already in the Supreme Court by this AstroTurf right-wing organization. So that was just separate. Like, I think that was them just giving us the middle finger. And it was especially egregious because in that particular bill, and the third Democrat was John Tester, if I'm remembering correctly, but they voted to retroactively add our interest back that was paused during the pandemic. That is thousands of dollars for most of us, just as like a little bit of a fuck you. Like, we're probably already going to get our cancellations canceled, so we're probably not going to get shit. But for them to do that when they know that Biden would veto it, it's just them saying, hey, fuck you all, fuck you. It's so... that honestly sent me into a rage. I was apoplectic when I read that fucking article because they didn't have to do that, but they did.
Ciao.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, before I forget, public service announcement. So for the first time ever, we are now on Reddit. So the subreddit is now live for the first time ever. Never been on Reddit before. It is r/leftist mafia. We're off to a good start. I think we still have to work on it. but everybody go there. I started a thread. There's like a watch party episode. I don't remember what I called it, but it's back. I mean, it's there for the first time. So follow us on
it's
Reddit.
a shorter URL too, just r/leftist mafia.
Nice.
No the before it. Like, I don't know why
Yes.
you'd put the before it, but yeah, just r/leftist mafia.
I have one other PSA to announce. Congratulations to Mike for getting your channel back remonetized. Huge.
Yes, yes.
It's a sad day over here. I was really raking in those those super chats when Mike was demonetized. My kids are we're about to go to the food pantry on the corner. About to take my kids. Mike's gonna put me out of a house and home here with his remonetization. Unbelievable. Oh
God. Oh, that
So
was
they-
honestly a
Did they tell you like
y'all all have Discords and Reddits and stuff for y'all's individual channels?
There is a
I have a
Discord.
actually, yes, I do. Yeah.
Yes, did y'all all say yes?
Yeah.
I don't go on my Discord.
I don't really either. I need to do it more. Yeah.
I don't really use it, to be honest, but I have it.
At which point in subscribers did y'all decide to do that?
So my
like this
my
year
viewers
for me.
did it for me. Yeah, it was I think it was last year for me. But they did it for me, so I have no idea what's going on there. So you all better be behaving.
Pinder, Lance?
What?
When y'all do
Emmy,
it?
you should do
Yeah.
it. Just do it.
You said do
Just
it?
do it. Yeah, do it. Why not?
Do what?
It's free. It's
I missed
free
it.
to start a Discord. Yeah.
Oh yeah, just start it. Why not? Just get yourself on everywhere. I mean, I usually have an account on every platform. It's just which ones do I use the most. That's so you should definitely set them up and then figure out from there which ones you're actually going to use.
Yeah. The Discord I use more. The Reddit was set up by somebody else. I'm not sure if it's even active at this point. But at one point it was being updated by somebody. But I just, there's so many hours in the day, right? Like I can't be on all these different social platforms. It's impossible.
Yeah. People are mentioning there's a Reddit boycott next week on the 12th and 13th. So I would love to participate in ours. So maybe we'll try to take the
nice. What's that
subreddit
about?
dark. So basically, Reddit is making changes to their API because their user interface is terrible. If I might be misrepresenting this. So
No, you are.
is that?
Yeah.
Am I okay? Okay.
Should I go? Is it time for a 30-minute Matt Binder monologue?
we need like a little title screen for Binder's
Cut it down
monologues.
to 10. Come on, cut it down to 10.
Little video, intro video.
So we
for-
should
This
do
is not
that.
even
We
the
actually
biggest
should
story.
get that.
I
like
think
how
we
they
should.
like
We
that.
should do segments. Yeah, like
Yeah.
little intros.
We should have some structure. I agree.
Don't want me to-
Let's
Wait,
get
Mike,
that. I'll work on that next.
Is my video low res again? Oh, it is. Hold on. Let me leave the
yeah.
room and come back in. I don't know
just told you
why that
accepted
happens.
that. It's your thing. Get both.
I love how
character.
the last couple of weeks Binder's audio was bad, but now the video is bad.
It's always going to be something. You should just accept.
When
Yeah,
he's still,
and
it's
then
okay though. If you just don't
when-
move.
When his is fixed, then mine's gonna fuck up. Just leftist audio.
Let me get it back in. Here we go.
All right. Well, do
There
I
we
look better?
go.
Do I look better in the
Yeah,
actual?
yeah,
thing?
yeah.
Yes,
That's
that's
much
very
better.
clear.
Yeah, you look
All
great.
right, perfect. I don't know why that
look good.
happens. All right, cool. So really, I'll go do it really quick. So basically, Reddit wants to IPO. They need to bring in more revenue because to make the shareholders happy, to get a nice big high stock number. They need to be bringing in more money, and they're not doing too good right now because the whole tech industry is not doing good right now. So it's the absolute worst time for them to IPO, but they want to go ahead with it anyway. So in order to pump up that revenue number, they're going to start charging for their API. They have not done that previously. It was previously free for very high limits, for which was perfect for most developers, third-party developers who use the Reddit API. And they're charging for it, much like how Twitter started charging for it when Elon Musk came along. By doing this, they're basically killing their third-party developer ecosystem and all the apps in it. The biggest app to take a hit is this really popular third-party Reddit client called Apollo for Reddit. A lot of Redditors use it. It's even more popular, I believe, than the actual official Reddit app. Apple at their big event this past week, they constantly showed it on screen. Like it's one of their like Apple's favorite apps too. And the developer came out at the beginning of the month and said they've been sitting down having conversations with Reddit. And it turns out that the API is going to cost this solo developer, Apollo for Reddit, just a single guy building this thing. It's going to cost him $20 million a year for API access to Reddit.
Wow.
So he basically announced today that he's got to shut the app down. And Redditors are upset about this, and then upset that, hey, this is going to set a precedent where no one's going to be able to build anything cool using Reddit's data. And we have to also be specific here. When we say Reddit's data, like the stuff that these third-party developers use are the content that you and I, everyone on this watching, this is stuff we make and put on these platforms. Like the unwritten rule since the beginning of social media has been, you provide the users with a platform. The users create the content that makes your platform super popular. You can monetize that data by selling ads and stuff. That's a deal. But also, you need to also allow our data to be used by third-party developers and other people who want to do cool things with our data and build us apps that we want to use. Like, think about the earliest Twitter clients, Twitterific, Tweetbot, like those were the apps that people were using over Twitter for the longest, like the main Twitter app for the longest time. If those apps didn't exist, no one would have used Twitter in the early days. And then Elon Musk comes along and kills those clients off completely. Wouldn't even work with them. Doesn't even want them to create a Twitter app. It's like just, and again, this is our data. So yeah, it's that's basically why Redditors are protesting next Monday. They're shutting down some of the biggest subreddits for two days, 48 hours. I don't know what that's going to do. I would hope that it applies some pressure to Reddit, but that IPO, that's what matters to them. So, the shareholders the incoming shareholders certainly will take precedent over the users, unfortunately.
Yeah, so are we going to go dark on Leftist Mafia? Because I'm afraid I'll crash the whole thing. But I do want to share, support and solidarity. You'll have to do it, Matt. I will fuck that whole subreddit
I don't even know how. I don't know how to do it. I'll look it up. But I mean,
Okay.
the subreddits doing it are pretty big. Like ones that, like I think I saw someone that there's like over 3,100 subreddits that are going dark, and it's some of them are some of the biggest ones on the platform. Like the Awe subreddit, mildly interesting. Like some of these subreddits have 30 million members and stuff like that. Wow. It's gonna be big.
Well,
yeah. I don't know if you.
I mean, it matters because this might seem like, oh, well, I don't use an API. I'm not a developer, but a lot of the stuff that like you enjoy online is made by these third party developers. Like these bigger companies usually don't care about users having fun or anything like that. It's all so like these third party developers are creating like the cool like side project stuff that people actually use, and if they no longer have that API access to build on top of these really big existing platforms, because they certainly can't compete with them, so they build on top of them, and if they can't do that, then the future of the internet's going to look really boring, honestly, and it's going to be really bad that all these big tech companies basically have even more power than ever before.
Yeah, I see some people in the chat probably want us to talk about the other big news of the week, and that is Cornel West's 2024 run. I know that David did a video about this. Ben had some really good takes on Twitter about this. I just saw that Cornel West had an interview with Democracy Now! This morning. I put a link to it in our private chat. And at around the 18-minute mark, he kind of addresses the elephant in the room that we've all been wanting him to address, which is why the People's Party? Like, why run with them? And in my opinion, it seemed like he was completely caught off guard by the allegations that Amy Goodman brought up. And I'm sure that all of us on this panel cannot relate to be taken aback by allegations against one of our longtime colleagues. But you can kind of see that he is kind of shell shocked by it. In my opinion, that was my assessment. But I thought this might be interesting because it's a big update to this story.
The last 150 years, who was deported to Guatemala because she supposedly had communist associations and so forth. So that kind of censorship
it's
is
just
something
after
that
this,
I'm
I think,
very suspicious of. I've got deep libertarian sensibilities in that regard.
Oh, fuck.
India Ari also said she's against cancel culture and ultimately went back on Spotify.
That's right.
So, Democracy Now!, we ask very critical questions. I also want to read from a New Republic article about your candidacy and about the People's Party. The article states, quote, while the party began in 2017 with noble roots to form a new political party independent from corporate money and influence, it's been mired in troubling allegations as well as broader organizational dysfunction, numerous sources of corroborated sexual harassment allegations against party founder Nick Brana. Last year, former party member Paula Jean Swearingen said she'd witnessed Brana try to force himself onto former party executive director Zana Day, who confirmed the allegations herself. Numerous party board members were apparently forced out for encouraging investigations into the allegations and questioning whether Brana was still fit to lead the party, unquote. Brana has also praised the prominent anti-vaxxer Robert Kennedy Jr., who's also running for president, but as a Democrat. He described Kennedy as a, quote, courageous leader whose environmental and vaccine advocacy has illuminated issues that few dare to confront. So he's the founder of the party that you're running with, the People's Party. Talk about why you chose the People's Party and if you would like to respond to those allegations. And also the bigger point of why you didn't choose, for example, if you wanted to be outside the race, the Green Party, which has more ballot access. But that's a lot there, Cornell.
Right.
Yeah, no, indeed. And I appreciate that question too, my dear sister. I mean, I have a great love for my Green Party brothers and sisters. I've worked twice with them, and so I have nothing against their third party operations. It would be nice if we had even a coming together, but that's something that is for a different show. But in terms of the history of the People's Party, I was there at the founding. There's no doubt about that. And I've been a kind of honorary member of the board, even though I haven't participated, so I haven't followed all of the insides and outsides of what has happened. It strikes me that there's been some very bad and ugly moments. There's no doubt about that, but I don't want to adjudicate as to who actually is guilty or who's actually innocent, because I just don't know. But there has to be accountability, and especially when it comes to sexual harassment in terms of sisters of any color, those are very, very important issues to wrestle with and very serious charges in that regard. But as I said before, that for me, I wanted to be able to bring a serious critique to bear on the corporate duopoly.
Yeah, you could do that up there, bro. That's the point.
The People's Party, in its inception and in its vision, is a populist one. So you got a number of different voices, heterogeneous. It is very loose. A lot of people say, well, is it an organization at all? I mean, does anything hold it together and so forth and so on? Well, that we shall see. Those are very important questions. I don't want to act as if that they aren't serious challenges. I think that if we can deliver in such a way that we are treating each and every working person and poor people of any color with great respect in this campaign, if we can raise voices to shape the discourse and dialogue in this campaign, if we can not just bring pressure to bear, but begin to point out that the choice between
I can't take it no more.
Long-winded fascists.
I'm waiting for you to finish.
Trump.
All right, we got it. We got it,
in
Cornell.
so many ways.
Okay, all right.
Wow. Yeah, I don't think he's really going to properly.
Deep Negro spiritual side.
I mean, let's start by saying he announced on Russell Brand show, right?
Yeah.
That's already. What are you doing?
All right. So I'm putting out a video probably on Saturday on my channel. I did like our conversation, me, FD Signifier, Foreign Man in a Foreign Land, Consciously, Rebecca, Zora, and Gabrielle Perry. So we have a very diverse group of Black leftists to unpack this, because none of us have a clean take, because as Black people of every different perspective coming at it, we have a general respect for Cornel West. You know, I very much I want to be clear. I'm not coming out the side of my neck about him. I very much so. I like to respect Black intellectuals and leaders that have come before you in different times. I don't want to think you get popular on Twitter so you could sound off the side of your neck and, you know, diminish a person's whatever, right? So I felt like that needed discussion rather than a take. But we did unpack it, and y'all will see it's a great episode. How we're talking. We did come to the conclusion. So I've already come to the conclusion. I'm at the tail end of that episode. So I know now definitively that this some bullshit, right? This right here is some bullshit. Okay, this right here is definitively some bullshit. First of all, Cornel West, my brother, wrote an op-ed last month, May 12th, 2023, about Ron DeSantis being a revolutionary, operating in the spirit of a revolutionary with what he's doing with education in Florida. May 12th. That happened May 12th. Okay, boom. Right. Then on the next thing you do after you announce with the People's Party, which I'm about to double back to. We double back, but I know after you then you on Russell Brand. Talking about Russell Brand is a progressive gem.
Progressive.
And Kim Iverson.
Oh, for fuck's
Kim Iverson.
I know you fucking lying, but I'm not getting that because I don't
Russell Brand.
It sucks.
Russell Brand, though. Russell Brand, like I was never a fan, but Russell Brand did sort of push himself in the very beginning as sort of
10 years ago.
Nobody, no elderly Black civil rights adjacent civil rights leader should be out here calling Russell Brand a motherfucking thing. Okay, not a nothing. He shouldn't even be in your mouth the day after you announce. Like, what are we doing here? Stop the bullshit. Like, and let me tell you, no, that's nonsense. And then so back to the People's Party, right? Okay. If you, first of all, I think several things. I'm all for, I'm not somebody innately against third party candidacy or you want to run. I do think there's something to why can't we have third party candidacy run for Congress? Why can't we dip our toe in the race and get some people in Congress and stuff before we jump in to the presidential elections on a vanity project at the when we have serious shit a cracking, right? So that's boom. So if you're going to do something on some purely clearly, we know, everybody knows unequivocally, he is not in it to win. He does not believe he's going to win. That's not the plan. That's not the intention. Even in his little video he put out, this is all about, you know, the spirit of whatever it is he thinks he's advancing. But what the fuck are you advancing really? Because why'd you choose the People's Party, right? This is a party that started in 2017. It has lower ballot access. Its founder is a repeat. It's not just that he has a bunch of sexual assault and harassment allegations. It's within his own party, a bunch of different people verified, and the whole thing is a hot mess. So why? And then you want me to believe? And listen, us, yes, while we have previously had a member and not known things, we are not running for president. This is a podcast. I be high. If you run for president, on a ticket, I expect you to know something about that party. Then if you tell me you was at the founding of the party, you're on the advisory board of the party, and you're not running for president on the party, you're not going to tell me you missed the T when the party's founder had a bunch of sexual assault allegations. Cap. I call cap. That's foolishness, because this is not unlike Joe Biden. Cornel West is very much so alive. Wherewithal is there. He right here. He right here with us. He know what he's doing. So that's foolishness there. And I say this, if you're going to be here, if you want to convince us that you're here, because he said in this little video that he believes running for president is a means of getting this kind of justice, this kind of truth forward, this kind of, well, then who's it for? Because if you're not going to do something because you're trying to win and you're for a spirit or you're pushing some kind of issue, what is it? Because I haven't heard you seem to, you riding off the love of what the Black community has, but I'm not hearing much Black shit. I'm not hearing much anything. I don't want to see you surrounded by Black people. You talking about Russell Brand, you here with the People's Party. Why would a old Black academic, intellectual, and civil rights leader damn near be out here wanting to follow a party that started in 2017 by some middle-aged white boy with a bunch of accusations and that's only president in a couple states? What the fuck is up with that? I have questions. I have concerns, especially if it comes on the heels of you doing politics like saying Ron DeSantis is a revolutionary, moving in the spirit of a revolutionary. You're doing fuck. But I respectfully. You are doing fuck. Now, if you just go do this scholarly shit, go do that. But this right here, I'm not fucking with this. Oh, okay.
It got worse. It started off bad to me as soon as he said the People's Party. I don't have a problem with a third party campaign except for exactly what you said, Ole. It's the fact that they really only pop up when it's time for the presidential election. when it's the impossible thing for them to accomplish, right?
Yep.
The Green Party during the full-blown dim exit of 2016, I think they got, what, 2%? Not even 2% of the vote, right? And so it's extremely difficult to get enough traction on the federal level, but we don't see these parties actively doing anything on the local level in the United States. I know the Green Party is very active on the ground level in Europe. But that said, putting that aside, it's Cornel West presents a particular threat if he was associated with a party that actually could do something about it. And I say a threat in two different ways. I say it as a good thing and a bad thing. We do need more power to be taken away from the duopoly. There's no question about that. But in this moment, if Cornel West is even moderately successful, if he gets 2%, 3%, and he's pulling that specifically from the black vote, who does that help? That does not help justice. That does not help liberation. That does not help everything that he's talking about, everything that he's trying to inspire us around, which he's going to do. I didn't give the caveat at the beginning that Olay gave. I should have, because with all due respect, like, I love Dr. West. I've studied Dr. West for more than 20 years.
Oh, so
like
much.
I have read his books. He's a hero. So I don't like talking out of school, especially about our elders, but I'm sorry, even if he's moderately successful, it is a bad thing, because he's going to give someone like Ron DeSantis the assist that he needs to go all the way to the White House.
Yeah.
And he's dealing with the party, and he's dealing with that, honestly, he's lending his name to more than that party can do anything for him. So maybe I don't even have to worry about him getting a moderately good, like 1 or 2 or 3%, because the party is so dysfunctional.
Yeah. And I would have understood more. Like I said, if he ran for the Green Party, it'd be different. If he ran, even if he ran on the Democratic,
As an
if
independent.
you want to be there, if you want to really, because I do believe if somebody like RFK, who is nobody and half of anybody don't even know he running, like can get something in the polls, I'm sure that Cornel West could, because there is a populace of Black people, especially who won't know it. And well, yes, they'll go for you over something. So I do believe that he would have an ability to be an issue candidate. I believe that he would be able to push some needle, do something in terms of rhetoric. But I think this entire strategy he has chosen says to me that that's not what you're here for, especially based on what he's recently espousing, where he's aligning himself. What I see out of the People's Party, they on Twitter talking about MLK would be anti-woke. You missed that, babe.
Yeah.
Missed it.
Also, very turfy, transphobic post that the People's Party has made. I mean, this doesn't align with Cornel West. I mean, Cornel West, like as you all said, he's a hero to me. So when I saw this, immediately my feeling was cognitive dissonance. It's like, okay, somebody is in his ear telling him something. He's not online, trying to rationalize it, because I mean, when you kind of I don't want to say that I've deified Cornel West, but like he is one of the few people in this country that has consistently been like on the right side, speaking out, and the way that he words things, like it's Cornel West, you know what I mean? So it's hard to see him align with these really nefarious actors who, and part of the issue is that really bothers me, is this party. I mean, the organization itself. Let's say that you have some random person, they see Cornel West, they love Cornel West, they donate money to this party. Where's that money going to go? There's no transparency there. There's not
trust.
How much people will be duped just because it's Cornel West, you know? And that's what really worries me.
That part. Yeah. That part. And then that money also, could I just keep it a little bit more 100? The fact that money is going to go to an institution that's founded by and chaired by a white man who has not demonstrated to me to have a lick of concern about the Black community. However, the most fertile donation base for him is going to be the Black community, right? So even if it's just the financial donations, yes, but then even the data, all of the data and money that's going to be grifted from the Black community isn't going to Cornel West. Cornel West is not going to be processing that data. Nick Brana is going to be processing that data.
It feels very
terrible.
Exploitative. And I just want to send a shout out to Renee Johnston. She was somebody who signed up to be a volunteer with the People's Party way back in the day. And she was one of the first people who blew the whistle and got so much shit for it. But she explained how this isn't a real thing. There's no support for people on the ground who really wanted to build an alternative, right? And so, like Ben's point, really, you made such a great point about this, also on Twitter as well. You know, if this were the Green Party, as Ole said, I would also feel better about this because you have the Green Party and the Libertarian Party every single cycle, right? So theoretically speaking, you know, you have Green Party pulling from Dems, Libertarians pulling from Republicans. But if you add an extra component to that, to hypothetically take more votes away from the Democratic Party, we could be undercutting ourselves. And I'm done with the whole, you know, well, third parties, maybe there's a chance. I've been really frustrated with the third party movement because nobody wants to put in the work to actually get a real third party. Like, you have to get electoral reform. Like, I was under the assumption in 2016, incorrectly so, that perhaps since Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump were so unlikable that we could just kind of like overpower Duverger's law, you know, put aside our first past the that didn't happen. Like, as Ben said, Jill Stein got like what 1-2%. So you have to actually change the electoral institutions. We need proportional representation, at a minimum ranked choice voting. And I've seen everybody put the cart before the horse here, and you can't do that. You've got to change the institutions to get another party. And even if in a perfect world we get a multi-party system, capitalism is still going to corrupt each and every single one of those parties because the Democratic Party used to be a working class system. So we need to get to the root causes if we really want to disempower these elites.
Right. And one other thing, if I could just real quick on this one, is these parties, and again, I try to hold my critique of the Green Party because I've seen the Green Party do some things over the years. I just see them lean in more when it's every 4 years. But the fact that the groundwork that is necessary to actually even give Cornel West a fighting chance in hell has not begun. I mean, 6 years is not a long time. 2017, when he started this party, it's not a terribly long time. But if you're serious about it, you would have laid the groundwork across this country in some form or fashion. And we're starting from zero. So what does that do? That every 4 years, we're given a bit of hope for a third party that's starting from scratch every 4 years. People like to say that we're sheep herding people over to the Democratic Party, but these third parties who show up every 40 years, they give you hope, they take your money, and then they disappear for another 4 years. How are we going to win that way?
Yeah, I just think we need to, there has to be more of a strategy doing that in like during the whole time. There has to be consistency. There has to be some kind of mobilization around a person. Like I completely agree with Ben. I'm very much so, listen, I believe that I have no problem innately with third parties or doing that. I don't think that you should just try to preserve a two-party system forever. But I think there's something very dangerous when you mostly fall out of, you know, in the background, and then suddenly you just take a very political theory class, moral approach to, God damn it, you know what I mean? In the middle of election shit, y'all better fucking third party. God, like, you know what I mean? It becomes this whole, and I'm like, but bro, hold on though. Realistically, you know, they're not about to win. You know, that's not what's happening right here in this particular moment. And like I said, I just think they could do something. You can still impact. You can be impactful without winning, right? Like, we all acknowledge that with a Bernie and everybody. People can be impactful without winning a presidential election, what it is. I think you can be a very valuable issue candidate and stuff like that. Let's not forget, that's what Trump originally jumped in the game for. So people can surprise you. I just think it has to be strategized in a sensible way. And very often I see a lot of these people who do this, do it in a way that says to me that you not only have no intention to win, but you really don't have intention to push a movement. You have to have some other kind of agenda, because if it was really to push it, this is so obviously nonsensical, not the approach to do it. This can't do anything but tarnish a legacy. You know what I mean? That's what I...
Mike, your story reminded me of something. When I woke up that morning, I got like a message from my mom, and she knows how much I love Cornel West. And she was like, Cornel West is running for president. And I was like, oh, no way. And then I went online right away, and it was like, for the People's Party, like just fucking stink in my seat.
There was a meme I saw that I shared in my video that was exactly that. It was like, oh, Cornel West is running, and then it's like, oh, People's Party.
I saw that. Yeah, no, it's one of these things where if 10 years ago you said, Mike, there's gonna be a day where Cornel West runs for president, I would shit myself and think, holy fuck, this country is gonna be in a much better place. But this is not how I envisioned it happening. I mean, look, if he just forewent all of this and announced in 2024 in a Democratic Party primary, he's 70, but he's still young compared to other people like Biden. That is where you can actually really build a groundswell. Yeah. And I think he probably has more potential than Bernie. So it just it feels like a missed opportunity, and it's disappointing.
At least I'm not worried he's going to take. I was I'm no longer worried that he's gonna like cause Trump to win or something anymore. I think it's a legitimate thing in discussion. But like I said, we had a whole hour unpacking of this. FD has convinced me. So y'all hear FD's thoughts about it on Saturday, child, because I'm like, all right, I'm fine.
One thing that I will say about this,
a lot of discussion's been around like third parties, and I just think it's disappointing that, like, because we've been talking on this show, people have been like, oh, have Marianne Williamson on, and it's like, oh, she's not going anywhere in the Democratic primary, because and my reasoning has been because she's not a candidate that has a movement behind her. She's not going to be able to even the point to run in a primary against an incumbent is to at the very least push the incumbent further to the left so you could get some sort of concessions out of them. But Marianne Williamson has no movement behind her to do that. If Cornel West had stepped into this race in the Democratic primary, now that's a guy who could have at the very least done that very thing. He could have been the guy to push Biden even further left, and then at the end of the day probably end up dropping out, endorsing him, and whatever, getting concessions out of him.
We'd all be wearing t-shirts.
Yeah, this is going to, what this is going to end up doing, like Ole said, there's no, with the People's Party behind them, it's not going to hurt Biden at all. There's going to be no threat. Biden's campaign's not going to worry one lick about him. All he's doing is hurting his own legacy, and it's sad.
Do you all think if they got a sudden influx of money into the People's Party that they would be able to create an infrastructure sufficient to be a problem?
No,
because they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. It's not a legitimate.
You can't start in 2017, and in 2017 as a political party in this country, in a massive nation that already has a two-party system where third-party candidates and parties have never really been able to achieve any success. Start a party in 2017, be riddled with sexual assault allegations within the organization, with the own organization's higher ups saying the organization is full of shit, has no structure, no vision. The guy is a rascal. No, you're dead in the water, baby. It's over for you.
And on top, this seems almost tiny compared to everything else Ole said, but the cherry on top is ostensibly the most progressive candidate in the race would be Cornel West, the guy running for the People's Party, but the founder and the head guy of the People's Party is on the record literally praising the most right-wing candidate in the Democratic primary. It makes zero sense.
It ain't. It's not looking too hard.
Did Cornel not? Did he wake up and just decide to take this endorsement without talking to anyone? Because it seems more and more like just completely batshit illogical, like. But then it's at the same time, I don't want to infantilize him, and because he's a grown man who's really able to read contracts and is brilliant. Like, so there's really no excuse for him not knowing what the hell happened.
He didn't know. By the way, I meant to say that because I forgot that. Mike, you did preface the video with you believe that he didn't know. I don't know what gave you that impression. He said, I don't want to adjudicate the matter. Thank you for that question. Blah 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 blah. And he proceeded to go on a nice long monologue and start doing what a nice intellectual does, and that's move the fuck on. Tell you about. He never told you. That is not a man who just heard that shit for the first time. Could you imagine? He said, well, it is true that I was at the founding of the party, and also true that I am on the advisory board, meaning I advise. I also am running for president on the ticket. This is true. I've heard these, I wouldn't want to adjudicate the matter because I don't know what happened, but that's why it's important, to really be a part of a movement. Like, sir, he never said he didn't hear it. Nothing about him gave. Oh, I didn't hear that shit before. If he had heard that shit, his eyes would have been like this. He'd have been looking at his people like.
He was so unprepared to answer it, though. That's
the way Mike described it. I was really like, put Cornel West back on camera. I want to see the shocked face that he's got. I want to see him like they're gonna cut back, and he's gonna be like. But it wasn't. It wasn't.
He looked, in my defense, part of it is probably cognitive dissonance because, again, I fucking love Cornel West, and we lost Noam Chomsky this year. I don't want to lose another intellectual, especially, Cornel West. Lost meaning we canceled the fuck out of him. Anyways, but he just looked very dejected. And back to Ben's question about, like, if can this be a launching point? I feel like the party itself is fundamentally unserious. And I know this based on one thing that they did, which is still shocking to this day. So they paid $20,000 to commission a logo for them that they ended up not using. Like, do you know how much we paid for the Leftist Mafia logo? $0. Lance made it. Do you know how much we paid for the Humanist Report logo? $0. I made that shit. Nobody pays $20,000 for a logo if they're a serious political party or any political organization. It's just
unless they know
so
exactly what
unserious.
they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing, and that money goes right into Nick Brown's pocket. That's what's going on there.
I'll be honest. You mentioned the Noam Chomsky stuff, and honestly, to me, running for the People's Party is basically like running for mayor of Little St. James. To be quite frank.
No, it's really, it ain't adding up. It's not adding up. No part of it is adding up. But y'all heard my rant, so y'all know my thoughts. Who we supposed to talk about? They talking about Marillac. We didn't talk about Trump yet. That I imagine we did.
Wait. On Cornel West, just did you watch any of you watch his appearance on Russell Brand's show? Because this is why I still think he doesn't know what the hell's going on, because he watches Russell. He said he watches his show every day. It's his favorite show.
Is that not?
That's not true.
Who said
that? Convicted, you see.
Cornel West, while on Russell Brand's show, he said he loves him. I watch you every day. He knew his producer's name, who's like behind this, like has like a different camera, so he knows the show. He watches Russell Brand's show every day.
That is
like,
the opposite of not.
What is going on?
That's not the opposite. None of what y'all. You know what's funny?
What is
Mike
this
and
timeline?
David both have presented evidence that are helping convict this man. Trying to like all that sounds like he knows what's happening.
I'm trying.
No, but
I'm trying
if you watch Russell Brand's show, I think you don't know what the fuck's going on. Like that's my argument.
No, I think maybe self-preservation going on anywhere here. Self-preservation, long-term self-preservation, because there's been a lot of people who should know better,
that, though, does he?
Who are making some decisions that are realigning them a little bit away from us and more over there to the side that has the fascists in the streets. I'm not, just, is there any self-preservation in making these statements about Ron DeSantis being a champion of the classics? Like, I don't know, that's really starting to add up and bother me on this thing, because I really believe that he's too brilliant not to know. And then to be a regular student of Russell Brand, it's like, well, where are we going with this? Where are we going with this further?
Yeah, that's weird.
It is the way you just framed it there, Ben, too, is like Cornel West is the student to Russell Brand. Shouldn't it at the very least be the other way around? Like, what the fuck? Like,
I know
what, like, so bizarre. Listen, like, it really seems like the pandemic broke people's brains. Like, that is literally where we saw people flip like this. Like, yeah, there were the bits and pieces post-Trump, but 2020 is where people really flipped their lid. You can just look at the list of people who completely are different than what they were. I mean, Russell Brand's in that group. Again, he never was like Mr. Progressive, but he wasn't like this.
I was shocked to see Jimmy Dore change so much in 2020.
Jimmy Dore went from spitting on Alex Jones to becoming Alex Jones. Yes, I mean,
to attacking me with Libtard 01 and outing himself.
I mean, Matt Taibbi.
That turn had gone on for a while, though. Let's not pretend COVID broke Jimmy's brain.
I was going to say Jimmy's been on this trajectory at least since 2015. It's just
needed a little push. Yeah,
dropping little sprinkles here and there.
Yeah.
A little
Matt Taibbi. Matt Taibbi's another good example. What the fuck happened there? How did he go from like this esteemed quote unquote journalist to like talking about Matt Walsh and being like, "Oh, What Is a Woman" is a really good fucking documentary? You're like, what the fuck? Where did this come from?
How does he go from becoming the number one voice in the early 2010s, speaking out against the 1%, to literally becoming the richest guy in the world's PR guy? I mean, you got to be kidding me. Like, yeah, exactly.
And denying it over and over when asked. Like, every single time, it's like, no, that's not what I'm about. No, I'm just doing my job. The Twitter files. It's like, what the fuck?
There's a lot of people who flip. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm thinking you just reminded me of some of my friends who used to be at The Intercept. I think some of them might still be at The Intercept. Of course,
Glenn Greenwald.
That's Glenn Greenwald, right?
Zaid.
These were guys that like really had great critiques and analyses back in the day, and now they're falling over with fascists. Now it's like, where are we going here, America?
it's like I don't get it, but I do, right? It's like, you know, that there are financial incentives here. Like, there are financial incentives for me to be the gay guy that tells Republicans on Fox News that it's not homophobia. It's not bad to question, you know, to critique, you know, trans people in women's sports. There is a financial incentive. So, but to me, what is shocking is that, like, you would think, especially like, because I followed a lot of these guys, based on their critiques, they would not have been susceptible to that, right?
Right.
But you can tell that they were never rooted in ideology. They never had the capacity for self-reflection. It's just all about chasing that grift. And honestly, audience capture is a hell of a drug too. I think part of that maybe they was just they inadvertently kind of got roped into it, where you say one thing, you get the applause, and you kind of back yourself into this corner, and you can't back yourself out. I think that's also part of it.
That's a dangerous phenomenon right there, what you just described, Mike. Because you sometimes as a host, you don't realize that you're doing that. And if you don't realize that you're responding to the audience, your audience will take you to some crazy places.
Yeah. They can box you in, and the second you get out of line, they bark at you. I mean, we saw this kind of in real time with Jimmy Dore, where in 2021, he had a good take on critical race theory, and he got ripped to shreds. That's when you could still see the dislikes, ripped to fucking shreds, and he never made that mistake again. So, like, your audience, if you start to really, like, you get a lot of views if you pander to reactionaries, right? So if you get that, it's kind of like that dopamine rush, and then you realize, okay, maybe I don't like this, but then they bark at you, and it's just it's a very destructive cycle. And I feel like that's part of it is these people are probably greedy as well, but I think a lot of this is inadvertent, because I mean, so many of them just they took the same trajectory, and you just see that audience capture little by little, and it's really sad to see, because you would expect the people who are trying to be thought leaders on the left, at least in the online sphere, would have a little bit more integrity or capacity for introspection. Like, we all fuck up. Like, back in 2016, I talked about how, like, I was shitting on Hillary Clinton every single fucking day, but I thought that because I was doing it from the left, everything was copacetic. But then I released a video shitting on Pizzagate, and all of a sudden I get mass dislikes. I'm like, okay, I attracted these people. You've got to pivot now. You've got to switch it up. Like, because
you recognize though, and then you shifted and you understood what happened. What, like, how my point is that how do you not know? Like, if you're introspective enough to be someone who's an intellectual, who's someone like, I don't know, like a Glenn Greenwald, who has done some good work, has a history, or Matt Taibbi, how do you not know that you have changed? They have to have known. They have.
That's kind of what I'm asking about Cornel West too.
Like, it'd be a lot easier
Mhm.
if we just accepted that people are not quite a lot of people are not quite what we idealize them to be. And I think, like, in the sense of Cornell, like, that was something, and I said we unpacked this on Saturday. There's a lot of things when we have respect and reverence for a person in a certain capacity, that does not mean all of us are fully aware of the wealth of their opinions and the magnitude and the rate. We're not. I respect Cornel West, but I can't tell you every part of his philosophy and school of thought. There are things that have always existed that would align very much so with some problematic things. There are a lot of Black people of yesteryear that are conservative in certain respects. He identifies as a libertarian in some respects and all these different things. The cooking is there. It's not, this big confusing thing. And as it pertains to the rest of these white people that are famous on Twitter for grifting and switching up lanes, they're insincere. I've been saying this since episode fucking 1. It is a job. It is a grift. It is a persona. It is disingenuous in the first motherfucking place. It is an intellectual exercise. I know some of these people. I've been on these shows. I sit with people who live an entirely different fucking life versus what the fuck they say on the shows. They're there to get a check. That's why they switch up. They do what they think is popular. They do what they think there's a lane for. It's called getting where you fit in. That's what's up. As soon as you disabuse yourself of this idea that they're operating in good faith, it all fucking makes sense. If you get that, actually, I was watching an expose on somebody recently, and
I watched it too. Very good video.
And inside expose, they were like, they're not a left. They're not a leftist. They're not on the right. They're political. They believe in this. Like, they believe in that's what it is. And that's what it is exactly. And but they believe that's what they believe in, like a lane for themselves. There were always people like that. I remember that in undergrad, there would be people like Black people who don't fuck with Black people like that, but they see the Black student union leadership or some Black sorority or Black fraternity as an opportunity to, carve out a lane, because that allows them to be the Black person in these white rooms or whatever type of thing they're trying to climb to. People do it all the fucking time. The world is full of social climbers and people trying to, hit a lick. That's all it is. They're a bunch of white people being disingenuous. That's it. They're full of shit. They're not intellectuals. That's all it is.
I'm too.
So maybe we're the naive ones for not.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we are.
Let's ask the audience a little bit of an interactive segment here. Folks, get in your vote. Which one of the 6 people sitting before you right now is most likely to become a right-wing grifter? Cast your vote. Be sure to let us know why you think it's most likely to be David Dole, and let's.
I would retire and go to video games full time before I did anything different. I guarantee.
Remember what we said. Remember what we just said, folks, about how the audience sometimes pushes people that direction. Remember David Dole's live chat. Remember how this goes.
All saying Binder now.
Oh, they're saying Binder.
What?
You're the one that projects the most. I think that's what it is. That you project the most. That's what happens.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're the most devious, Matt.
I love when you don't disclose something, you don't say it on the stream, only for somebody in the chat be like, let me clarify to that thing they were alluding to. You're like, whoa, I have to research.
So I think that the moral of the story is don't deify people you see online, unless it's, members of the leftist mafia, then, we are...
No,
we are the purest.
Certainly, not that. Not that. History is not
No, it's just really sad, right? It just. Don't you see the world crumbling around you? I mean, look at fucking New York. It looks like Blade Runner. How do you not genuinely care about the state of the fucking planet?
We gotta apologize, David. The two of us have to apologize for this.
Yeah, let's hear it, Canadians.
Actually, we're gonna get to Janine. We'll get to Janine Pirro in a second.
Wait, no, you're showing the wrong video. This is the video from after Ole was smoking earlier in the show. This is
one of my friends called me and said, I know you used to inhale and smoke, but you okay? I was like,
damn.
Yeah, what's it like? It looks horrifying. We get this on the West Coast all the time.
Yeah,
it's way worse in New York City than it is in where I am. Just because it's going right from Quebec right down.
We just had the red Blade Runner nights before. Like as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, the East Coast is getting what Vancouver is getting used to getting now.
It was crazy. I wasn't expecting it. Like on what was it, Wednesday? I was picking up my kids, and I was walking, and I smelt it, and I was like, "What is that? Did someone burned something?" It was like before, I guess I realized what was going on, and then by that evening, the smoke was just filling the air, and I was like, oh, and then I found out. And then the next day, yesterday, today's Thursday, Wednesday, the whole outside, all throughout the day, was just that orange color. It was crazy. Yeah, and I had to wear a mask yesterday. I had to wear that mask yesterday. The first day.
I actually saw people in Manhattan raw dog in the air.
I don't know what people were thinking. My eyes felt it. Like I could feel the air in my eyes. Like it did not feel.
It was crazy.
Worse than Blade Runner.
And I was like, you really are a real Smokey the Bear ass bitch. Like you need a mask. Like miss. I said, miss, you have to chill. Like what is wrong with you?
Well, to the Republicans who refuse to wear masks, just go outside and take a big deep breath to own the libs. Yeah. Real deep breath. Yeah.
I did see people like right wingers online go like, oh look, they're trying to use this to bring the masks back, and I'm like, this is like
I saw that too.
This is like okay, if you can't believe that you need to wear a mask for like COVID because you can't see it, I still think you're an idiot, but at least that somewhat makes sense because that's like a child's way of thinking. Even a child would know that, like, oh, literal air is a foggy orange color. Better put on a mask. Like, there's no excuse for not. Yeah,
it's crazy. Janine Pirro apparently is really mad at Canada and wants a war with Canada or something. Let's. I haven't seen.
Did you apologize yet, David? Have you apologized?
Oh yes, I'm sorry, everybody, for Canada. We apologize.
I'm also sorry.
Blame Canada.
Joe Biden gets up there and he says, we're going to put together a national interagency fire response to work with Canada. No. You're the
press pause.
of the United States.
Press pause. Right. That seems like the most sensible thing in the world for a world leader to do.
Yeah. The upside down. It's so ridiculous.
No.
They have done something that has harmed people in the United States.
They have done.
Another president would have said, what are you doing to stop this? Why is this happening?
The climate.
This is a serious health hazard for the people in my country. But what does Biden do? He joins the wrongdoing. He creates this ideological issue and says, we'll put more money in it.
Our
money.
Bitch.
There you go.
Does she think
Oh my
Canada is one? Does she think there's a nigga named Canada out there setting fires? Like, bitch, what? Okay.
Senior Canada.
Like, ma'am, you are not. Her hair. Hold on, miss. You're a goofy broad, but your hair looks fabulous. I'll give you that white. But bitch, what? She said, no. She said, I'm like,
Lance is.
I'm like,
Lance is setting the fires.
all the time.
Lance is setting the fires. And David's there with him with one of those old timey like firefighter accordion, like fireplace accordion thingies to like blow it in our direction.
My grandpa had one of those.
Oh, now I know what you're talking about. Now I got it.
Listen, if this turns into a war between Canada and the United States, I can't promise that I will remain loyal to the U.S. And if Canada offers citizenships to people who join their side,
nice.
I'm not going to say anything publicly, but I'm going to contemplate my decisions very wisely then.
I'll sponsor it. Welcome.
Marjorie Taylor Greene blamed Canada's climate cult. We're apparently a climate cult. We're so cultish on the climate change that our prime minister has a quote where he talks about billions of barrels in the oil and how nobody would just leave them there. Like we're not as progressive as people think we are, guys. Like we're not doing nearly enough. There's plenty of I think $15 billion last year in tax subsidies for oil companies. Like we're not doing near what we should be doing.
All the Teslas are exploding. That's where all the smoke is coming from.
Fox is an embarrassment to this nation. Marjorie, the Republicans, everything. It really makes the whole country look bad. Like, as somebody who's from abroad, they think y'all are dumb, and this is really what's causing it. It's really this. Like,
I think we're dumb.
Every week I want to disparage the good people of the United States of America when y'all mention these fucking people. I want to be like, what is this? What is this? What is this? Like, why everything is a fucking conspiracy, my guy. Like, and the crazy part about it is like, you gonna die too. That's the part that gets on my nerves. Like, you gonna kill us both, bitch. Like, they're like the whole time. You want this? You burning out, y'all. Oh, whatever.
Especially for billionaires. That's what I keep saying about billionaires. There is no escape if shit gets really bad. Like, you can't have a little underground, bunker or whatever. Or you can't travel to space. You can't go to Mars. Like, everyone will burn. Yeah, I know. It sucks.
They're just gonna have to have like the peasants will be so desperate they'll have to have security detail everywhere. That just sounds like a great world that they want to live in.
What currency? What currency? They will just like eat them. Like everyone will revolt right away. It's like, I'll pay you in money. It's like, well, that has no value anymore. I want the food. I want the bunker. Like,
yeah. It's suicidal.
Yeah,
it
is.
It's a death cult.
Yeah.
Well,
what else happened this week?
I don't know. I do have a clip here. I don't know. It's RFK. I don't want to watch this.
Oh God, please. I've been doing my best.
He was on
not
Fox
to,
News, just like whatever.
Ooh. I've been doing my best not to make Sirhan jokes about him, but I'm really just disappointed that out of all the Kennedys, this is the one we got stuck with.
Yeah. No, on one hand, I'm surprised by how much he is getting in polls. On the other, I'm not, because people just see Kennedy and they want someone that's not Biden. And that's I think what a lot of his support right now is in polling. Like, there was one poll was like 20% for RFK, which is like ridiculously high. But that's not the more people see of him, I can't imagine that's going to continue. Because like he's as far right as they come. Like, it's such a bizarre. The whole thing is very bizarre. There's got to be a lot of money behind this campaign and why he's doing this at all. Like, none of it makes any sense. There's just, I don't know.
A lot of right wingers are platforming him. He's like doing the circuit right now. I've seen him on a bunch of different
David,
he's on Fox News all the time.
Yeah. David Sachs is hosting a fundraiser for him after being coming out audibly, quite vocally, I should say, for Ron DeSantis. Like, this is it's clear that this is a rat fuck. Honestly,
right.
This is. I don't know if RFK himself knows that's what this is, but clearly everyone around him is absolutely using him.
RFK definitely knows. RFK is one of the most prolific radicals that we have in this country. What he's doing with the anti-vax movement was just phase one. The targeting that he did specifically of the Black community with anti-vax messaging, like he actually contributed to Black folks dying through his anti-vax messaging. But there's another part to RFK. You know, he has an agenda, a very personal, deep agenda against the United States of America. I believe he 100% knows what he's doing, and he's doing his part to help undermine the Democratic Party from winning. Or let me say more precisely, he's doing his part to help the reactionaries win. And that's what's bothering me about this particular time, because I feel like there's more and more people lining up saying, I will do my part to help the reactionaries win, especially in this next election. So I feel like he knows what he's doing, and I think he's behind a lot of these interconnected parts. I don't think he's oblivious at all.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I don't think he's oblivious to what he's doing. I wonder if he knows that the people around him are using him to boost DeSantis. Like, they don't actually want him to win. Like, they're just using him to basically weaken Biden for DeSantis.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to win. I think much like, and I don't want to compare him to Cornel West, but I think he knows he's not going to win, nor does he care if he wins. He has an agenda, and that is to weaken the Democratic opponent against the next Republican. He is there to sandbag for the Republican Party.
I do think when you start polling that high, though, you know, the ego kicks in, and you definitely are in it to win it. Like, it's sort of, I mean, I think he thinks he's, yeah.
Y'all can hear me still from over here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you're good.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Well, we can go out on super chats if you guys are.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look how we've come up with a nice, responsible structure at the ending.
Yeah, this was really like probably our most our tightest episode yet. We kept it rolling. We hit multiple issues. This was great. I'm gonna chalk it up to I'm gonna chalk it up to Ben being here. Yeah.
Yeah, Ben. Everybody already knows you. I'm pretty confident that nobody in the audience doesn't know you and your stuff. But I feel like before we let you get out of there, we gotta let you plug.
Yeah, I mean, well, thanks, Ole. I got a little bit at the beginning. I like it at the end as well. Thank you. Benjamin Dixon Show, anywhere you get podcasts. The YouTube channel is over there. Thank you all for having me on. It's definitely cool hanging out with you guys. And definitely, listen, I love the fact that a lot of y'all have been in this fight like as long as me. So it's good to see the veterans on the screen as well as, all the new stuff that's coming around. So shout out to y'all, what y'all are doing here.
Thank you,
Roller
Ben.
Dragon wanted me to say hi to
have you on.
You gotta come back. This was great.
Subscribe to Ben. Go subscribe right now to Benjamin Dixon.
You want to follow Ben's Twitter too. You want to be on Ben's Twitter.
Okay, one thing that I gotta say to plug Ben's Twitter, your replies, Ben.
Perfect. Ben be getting people together.
Oh yeah.
Your reply. Okay, so I saw
read Twitter, honestly.
The Ian Miles Chong replies, Ben. Like seeing the Ian Miles Chong replies that you had to him. Man. I understand why I blocked you. I was rolling seeing your fucking reply. Like that shit was so funny.
You know, a couple of people reached out to me and said, "Ben, are you okay? You seem to have changed, and you're real cutthroat these days." I'm like, listen, there's nothing left on Twitter to do. If I have to see these people on my timeline every single day, my intention is to hurt them, to make them reconsider their life. That's what I try to do with conservatives.
It's giving me life. I love it so much. Everybody go follow him on Twitter and on YouTube.
Yes.
Bye, Ben.
Thank you, Ben.
See y'all next time. Thanks for having me on.
See you.
As soon as I hit that, it won't let me leave.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, his Twitter game is on point.
I think it was a great show, and we ended at 10:14. This is what we should do normally. This is fantastic.
Well, you said jumped in and helped you, David. I helped you wrap it up.
We're gonna spend the next 45 minutes talking about how great this was that we ended early, and then by the time we get to us,
David gets to do his super chats first.
Oh, it's okay. I'm fine today. Let's roll through them though.
Okay.
So since Mike has super chats now, I imagine, right? Since you're monetized,
I do.
I won't be able to tell.
Mike does not have super chats. You should continue to give them to me. Mike is definitely not remonetized. Do not even try it.
Actually, you know what? I don't have many, so I'll just roll through mine, and then I'll stay here for as long as I can. But if this goes on to 11:30, I'm going to be out. But
that's fair.
Levy,
I can't believe David's still trying to get out early. Unbelievable.
I'm
Unbelievable.
sorry. Some of us have children, Binder. Apparently your wife does everything because I got to go to sleep and wake up in the morning.
I mean, they sleep through the night for the most part. How old's your kid again?
2 years old.
All right. Well, I got a 4-year-old and a almost 8-year-old, so they sleep almost through the night now. Yeah.
He normally does, but I still got to wake up early to bring him to daycare. So that's always a thing.
Yeah, I got to take him to school, so I don't know I don't know how much Sleeping Beauty over here needs, but
I don't know how you run on how long do you sleep? Like 5 hours? 4 hours?
Sometimes between 4 and 6 hours. Sometimes that's probably the average
4 hours.
See, that's crazy.
Do you do math?
Everyone else thinks you're crazy. Thank you.
I mean,
and you also don't shower, so you don't have to waste time doing that. So you just run out the door.
Hey, I never said I don't shower. I just said I don't shower as
Every
often as maybe some of you do.
I believe that.
All right. I don't have any here.
We're so mean to each other on this show.
I was like, is this what the after-hour show is?
Fun.
I felt let me see out.
I feel like if we didn't roast the shit out of each other regularly, it just wouldn't be as fun.
Yeah.
I agree. All right. So for first one here, Snack Panther is a new member. Thank you so much. Katie Dammit says, Squirrel Gang, stand up. Who's Squirrel Gang? I don't know what that is. Thank you, Katie Dammit. Snack Panther again says, Trump, how do you get indicted on your day off? What was you doing? Stealing classified boxes?
The comments on the screen. Aren't they supposed to appear on the screen?
I got to. You're right. No,
David's really dropping the ball. He's just thinking about getting the fuck out of here.
No, I tell you, once it hits 10 p.m., like part of my brain turns off, and I've started intermittent fasting, so I'm even less capable.
I've been
now.
doing that too. Yeah, it fucks with your head. Oh yeah, for 6 months.
You know what?
This is the second day, so I'm still getting used to it.
I guarantee someone just asked David to answer a very astute, well thought out question, and David didn't put it on the screen, so he could just go, something about a squirrel gang. Got no idea. Next.
Mike can see the ball, so if I miss anything, he'll let me know. Here we go. Snack Panther. There you go. How do you get indicted on your day off? What was you doing? Stealing classified boxes? I don't know.
It's a lot easier to take files from the court you're supposed to leave than you think.
The issue isn't even that he took
it's the boxes hoax. The boxes hoax.
Someone told you.
I wanted a cop for you, Ole.
The issue isn't even necessarily the boxes. It's that they wanted them back and he wouldn't give them back, and then he hid documents that they were
That hurt
asking
my
for.
lungs.
Like, that's the actual that's the actual issue here. But nobody cares. Daniel R. If I could find Daniel R. Here you go. What I want to know about Joe Manchin is if he squanders his wealth, will he change his name to Joe Studio Apartment?
It's a good one. I like that.
That's pretty good. I like that. Very funny. My audience, very funny people. Very, very funny. They're very talented, intelligent people. Great humor here. Trying to find the next one here. Evan says, I saw somebody do a deep dive on Cornel West after his announcement, and he has really concerning ties to organizations like the Heritage Foundation and other right-wing endeavors.
You should watch Illuminati on Saturday. We talked a lot about a lot of stuff. It's gonna be it's honestly gonna be really fucking great.
I can't wait.
I'm excited.
It's gonna be so good, like so good. I had an entirely different episode planned. Which is going to be great too. My editor was halfway through it, then the Cornel West thing happened, and I texted all of the people that are going to be on the episode, and I was like, y'all, Cornel West is running on the People's Party, and every one of them said some semblance of nigga. And I was like, we have to discuss. We must discuss. Like, so yeah,
I'm excited to watch that.
Really
I'm looking forward to it.
It's like an hour. It's like more.
Nice.
Loomber says, did you guys see that Pat Robertson died? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we
Crab dance.
We talked it. You missed
had
it
a good
in the
laugh at the beginning. Snack Panther's the last one. If I can find Snack Panther. Here? Yes. David is just leaving early to watch the Stanley Cup final. No, I'm not. It's only game 3, so it can't end tonight. I'm hoping Vegas wins tonight. I want Vegas to sweep Florida. I have not checked the score, so I don't know what the current situation is. But I'm going to stay here for now. I feel fine. So, Mike, do you want to roll through them?
Sure. I'll just go. I'll just go from the top. New member. I think you got the 2 new members, David. So we have Christian Veneman. It says, "Ding dong, the witch is dead." Nice to see you, Christian. Yes. Very good news. Very good news. Wanda MV with a $5 super chat. "Send you love tonight. I was so moved by your Zoom call last Friday. So happy you are monetized again. Much love." Nice to see you, Wanda. For those of you who don't know, I do a Zoom call with my patrons once every month. It's the first Friday of every month. And I met Wanda. Christian used to come to them. So yeah, it's nice to see you again, Wanda. Thank you.
By the way, did the Twitter pressures, did it work? Was it pressuring people? Did people pressuring them? Is that what pushed them to monetize it again?
I think it had to have worked. Rep. I think maybe I think that YouTube team YouTube was about to block me on Twitter, seriously, because we had people all up on their asses. But I think the YouTube rep is probably what did it, because he told me, he's like, "Hey, I'm going to try to get you an answer." And then he got me an answer. So I'm like, "Oh, fuck. I don't know what he did." And he sent me a message saying, "Hey, you should be monetized now." So he was
Did they
on
say
it
what
like
took
that.
so long?
No, I still don't
Did they
know.
explain the...
Unfortunately, no.
Like the fact that you're monetized before you joined TYT as like part of that network, that should have been an immediate, like, you're through. But
That's what I figured. Like, at most, I thought a couple of days. Most people told me it takes a couple of days. Kyle said that it took him a couple of days. So I'm like, yeah, it shouldn't be an issue. So yeah, I'm very glad that nightmare is over. I was starting to spiral just a little bit. So it's nice to know that is behind me. Although I still am in contact with the YouTube rep, so if I have any other issues, I can talk to him before I'm officially assigned. So I feel much better. Thank you to everyone though for asking. Andrew S, $5. Congrats, Mike, for getting monetized. Thank you so much. Snack Panther, new member.
Damn, I got to turn on these YouTube memberships. It seems like that's a real good revenue stream there. I got to turn that
Just
shit
don't
on.
ever leave your MC.
Yeah, you have
They're always trying to get him some money. Y'all ever notice?
Well, speaking of
He
that,
hustles.
here's one for Binder. I cannot speak. Holy
You
shit.
can call me Binda if you'd like. Binda!
New York type. I'm walking in.
Wanda with a super chat. Love you, Matt, but Mike gets some of your super heat tonight. All right, that's fine. Super chat, I guess. Yeah, whatever.
But this one is for
fine,
Binder.
Of course. Yeah, that's what works for me. She
Very
gave to you
nice.
first.
Oh, I
though,
see. She
so-
split it. Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it makes sense. Makes sense. Mike's back.
Yeah,
You gotta
that's fair.
give him his day, and then next week you all come back to me.
We got 5 from Lee. Mike is monetized. Drumpf is indicted, and Pat is burning in hell. Woohoo! Really glad you held out, Mike. You the man. Thank you so much. You're so kind. We have $20 from Damn Cedar. Happy Pride. Congrats, Mike. That's really sweet, and I love that name so much.
and he's wearing a tank top in the image, it appears.
Chad.
Sam did wear that tank top. Yes,
I love that.
Yeah, he did. I forgot why he had to wear it, but it was like on a dare or something that he lost. A bet he lost or something like that. If I remember, I actually
love
don't
that.
remember.
This one's for Mr. Matt.
Brandy with a $10 super chat. Ben, hola, mafioso. Peace and blessings. Thank you so much, Brandy. Really appreciate it.
And we have a $5 super
Reminded
chat
me that
from.
people cash at me last week to tell them thank you. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
somebody
and
cashed
also
out.
There you go.
I forgot. Yeah, thank you, people.
Yeah.
That was very sweet of y'all. I liked that.
Lance, also feel free to share if you have any Twitch subs or anything like that too.
Yeah, I was like, I don't have super chats and Twitch subs. I mean, I have one with a question. I could quickly just ramble off the thank yous. Caroline and Gearbox, thank you for the 300 bits. GAC922, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Samuel and the Kind Dragon, thank you so much. Leftward Ho, thank you so much. And Leftward Ho is the question for everyone. How do we feel about Blue Sky?
Oh, I haven't been on it as much, but I still do like it.
How do we feel about Blue Sky? I haven't been on there in years now. I mean, it's
I need
still
videos.
it's still very much. Listen, I don't think anything's gonna replace anything. I think people are gonna go off into their own little niche social network, and it's going to just be something different. Like I don't think Blue Sky is going to replace Twitter. I just think Blue Sky will become something else, and maybe it'll fit you better than Twitter does or Mastodon does. But I don't think any of these are going to be a replacement for any of each other.
I do like that the Nazis have not found Blue Sky yet.
Or they don't last long, which is nice.
We can bully people off the platform still, so we still have majority power. This is from Dynamic Editor with a $5 super chat.
Dynamic
I actually have.
Who brought you? Because you once left. I noticed you when I checked the Discord, the Leftist Mafia Discord the other day, and I think maybe you're even a mod. I'm not sure, but I saw you in there, and I remember you once leaving a comment, long comment on one of my videos, telling me everything you didn't like. And I want you to know, I didn't like that fucking comment. In specific, it was a long tirade of shit. But I remember you commenting on particular that you didn't like how I do the show and how I don't need that in those colors. Listen here, uncultured swine. Okay, clearly you didn't watch Living Single in the 90s to get the reference in the play. Mind your business. Stay out of Lurnati's world. Like, thank you. Like,
okay, the colors on your show are amazing. The only complaint with your show, Ole, is that there's not enough Raheem.
I knew you were gonna say it. I knew you were gonna fucking say it. I said, watch it.
Wait, that's basically like you saying, "Oh, Ole, your show is great. My one critique is way too much Ole. Gotta cut that down."
Okay, but let me read out the rest of this. I actually have a lot of ideas to help the server, especially ways to make it more accessible for you, Mike. I'd love to chat if you're interested. It's not. I appreciate it, but I'm probably not gonna invest too much time in Discord currently, and I'm very hypersensitive to people reaching out to be mods at this point in time. So for obvious reasons.
100%. Especially
yeah.
people that have bad comment history. So
yes.
Yeah. So we'll wait, but I appreciate the sentiment though. We have $10, excuse me, 10 euros from Vicky Klee. This is to support Matt Mike. Please make sure he gets it. Kidding. Oh, so this is for you, Matt.
But sent to you?
To me, yeah.
Very funny. Just send me the money, people.
Now
send me the money. Give me the money.
Now who's the one going right wing, huh?
That's so fun. Okay, but here we go from Tokyo Hans to Matt.
Okay, cool. Tokyo Hans. This is for the re-demonetized Mike, so Matt can get more money fund. Yes, that's what we have to go with. That's what we have to go for.
Is that yen? That is yen. Oh yeah, Tokyo Hans.
Yeah.
1,000 yen, $10.
I want to make friends with people in Japan because I want to go there one day and like not be lost.
Yeah.
So
I can't wait to get the super chat from like the user.
Someone put it in the chat. Let me do it.
Oh, go ahead. I can't wait to get the super chat from someone whose username is something like hoodie wearing triangle head saying, "Oh, give me your moderation abilities and your." I'm gonna make it a great place for your fans.
I have extensive experience. We're gonna get in so much trouble. I swear to God.
So scary.
Cyclops Triangle says. Please, can I join?
I just love a couple of weeks ago David's responses to your comments. The replies to some of them that were obvious. Your response to them, very, very good. I won't say explicitly, but
people, you were joking about it before, and Ben was on, so I don't want to go there. But now it's just the five of us. People should know that the reason we had to start a new subreddit, is because it was the previous one was privatized, and we don't have access to it. We had mentioned that the split was good between the five of us and the individual who left, and it was when the Discord was bestowed upon us just on us and everything. But then for some reason the subreddit was taken over. I don't know what happened there, but that's why we're joking about it now. Otherwise we would have just probably left the whole thing as is.
Yeah. Okay, we got a new member. I don't know who this is for. Either me or David. So probably me, since David read out his. But we have one for Matt.
Damn Cedar with a super chat. Sam Cedar was mysteriously absent on MR today and Pat Robertson died. There's this ongoing thing. I don't know if you guys are aware, but apparently, whenever Sam takes a day off from the show, something happens. Somebody dies. Some event happens. So the belief is Sam is, he's not really taking a day off.
He's the one doing it.
He's the one doing it. Yes.
I mean, it's not. I don't think it's a
magically,
coincidence that he did the whole Steven Crowder surprise debate, and then Steven Crowder almost died like a month later. Is that really coincidental? I don't know.
I did not know this.
I feel bad for him though, because I feel like he's someone who would have loved to be there to cover that in like all of these big moments. But he's like off on all those important days.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is $5 from Nasima Tempest. I love your work, Mike, and I'm happy to see Benjamin Dixon. Happy birthday, Ben. Oh, right, it was his birthday. We didn't tell him happy birthday.
No, shut up. Shut up.
Yeah, it was like a day or so ago.
Oh, if it was not
whatever.
today, I won't feel bad. But if it actually was today, I'm looking for the balloons on Twitter. No, okay.
I don't know if I told him on Twitter, but happy birthday, Ben.
His birthday was 3 days ago.
Happy
3 days
birthday.
ago.
Okay.
I don't feel as bad.
Okay, so this is $2 from Icy. So happy to see you monetized, Mike. Love Leftist Mafia. Thank you so much. You're all so kind. $5 from Snack Panther.
That was mine.
Okay. I thought that that name looked familiar. Hannah McGuire, $5 here to support Matt Bender by sending a super chat to the Humanist Report.
This is
so sweet, Matt.
It's not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny.
It's hilarious, actually.
I thought that the meme would keep going, but they reversed it.
That's brilliant. We have a brilliant audience. Great.
They're very funny. I see
Very
Melanie, $6.99 Canadian. I'm so happy YouTube remonetized you. Thank you so much. I'd like to think my retweeting you on Friday did the trick. JK, I'm glad they finally came to their senses. Thank you so much, and thank you for retweeting. Anyone who retweeted that, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
I retweeted.
Thank you all so much. I was very distraught. So to see it get a bunch of attention on Twitter was very reassuring. Daniel R with $4.99 says
We already read this one.
Oh yeah, you read.
We
this.
did. Okay. So we
already read this one.
Wayne.
Well, because that one was the funny one. I never remembers the funny one, but I could see why Mike. I can see why Mike thought it would have been anyone but one of David Dole's viewers.
I just go name, so I didn't have a chance to read it. But this one is for you, Bender.
Oh, Sexy Terrapin with a super chat. Reddit's Android app has no accessibility features. It is going to make it an unusable platform for me and others. Yeah, I mean, I think Reddit is making a really big mistake here. And I think they're going to go ahead with it. I don't think they're going to reverse course. I think they're going to go ahead with it. And I do think they're going to take a hit. And if the Apollo developer was smart, he would seriously consider rolling out a very bare bones alternative Reddit app really quick, because I think people would use it. And the same thing happened with Dig about 10 years ago.
I remember that. Yeah.
Dig was the big social bookmark sharing website, and Reddit was the little side project. And Dig completely changed the interface and user experience on their platform. And at that moment, everyone jumped ship to Reddit. It could happen again.
I was one of those people. I migrated from Dig to Reddit. So, yeah.
Never heard of Dig.
It was basically Reddit. From what I remember, you could upvote different articles and stuff.
I hate Reddit.
Okay, so we have...
Ole, are you okay?
I'm fine.
You're like, never heard of Dig. Hate Reddit. just miserable. I'm just miserable right now.
I love the Gengar so much, though.
I know he's my baby.
That's amazing.
That's
I want one.
These are my matching little Illuminati. So you see they're Illuminati colored. They're purple and green. Hello. I like them.
Oh, I love it.
They look like my Raheem subscribe button.
Oh.
They're cute.
I want one of those Pokemon. I think they're called Squishmallows. There's like a
the Squishmallows. I love Squishmallows.
Yeah. They're so expensive though. The
Kenny
Pikachu
J
was
was
like
obsessed
$40.
with them. Kenny, we had on the show once. She loves Squishmallows.
They're so soft. I want
they're
one.
so soft. I had one for my ex, one of my exes, but I threw it over the balcony. But I did, but it was true.
See, I want one, but my dogs would claim it, and so I wouldn't be able to use it. And it smell like dog and have dog hair, but they are cute. Okay, so $4.99 from Jade. Reddit mods are unpaid users too. Many rely on third-party apps for moderating. Most other popular third-party apps are shutting down. It's not just Apollo.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes, there's a bunch of apps that are shutting down. Apollo's getting all the attention because they really are. It really is a big app. It's just one guy again. It's a really. I mean, Apple at their big conference used Apollo on screen multiple times. In fact, they touted Apollo as one of the apps that's going to be compatible with the Vision Pro goggles, which are going to come out. And when they come out, Apollo will no longer exist. So I mean, it's a pretty crazy thing that's going on with Reddit.
That's so stupid. We have one for Ole, supporting Ole through Matt.
Oh, so supporting me, and I get it. Tokyo, we need to rebrand this show. First, increase Ole's screen size by 50%. Second, rename the show Cafe Ole.
That's brilliant, actually.
Well, you're
That's
gonna
a good name.
enjoy
Good name.
on Saturday this episode of my show then called Ole and Friends, like whatever it is. So
Nice.
you will like that.
Nice.
Matt B with $4.99. I would like this donation to go to Matt Binder if he names his segment Binder's Bit. JK, this is for Mike. I like Binder's Bit though. We have Cafe Ole, Binder's Bit.
No, I'm not going to call it Binder's Bit because it's way too close to Binder's Bits, which will mean something very different.
I did not think about that.
Ole is the ultimate female INTP powerhouse. I am an ENTJ. For whoever knows or cares about that, that's what I actually am.
I always forget mine. I did it once. I don't remember. It's too many letters.
I don't remember what it stands for, but I know it's very much so like a lawyer type, loudmouth, authoritarian bitch, something like that.
Maybe I'll launch an OnlyFans that's called Binder's Bits.
No, Binder. I love it.
I do like Matt's monologue, right?
The truth.
Yeah,
Binder's Binder, huh?
It's got to be something tangent-esque. Let me think about it. I'll go back. I gotta give Binder ideas.
We each got to have like our own segments. So I love Cafe Ole, but we can work.
I like a good rant.
Okay, so like a Ole rant, Raheem's rant, like where you bring in Raheem and rant. I don't know.
It's too distracting.
I'm gonna
gotta roll off the top.
As y'all know, I love Olernati. I come up with new worlds every week. Foolishness. So I'll come up with something.
Okay. We'll have segments soon. It'll be amazing. Okay, this is for Binder.
Archangel, Matt, this is for Mike. Dude, I love your dog cam when you stream and Zoya looks content.
Oh, well,
is that your dog?
Zoya's my dog. Yeah.
Is that how it's spelled? Zoya?
Yeah, you nailed it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Archangel. I appreciate you giving Mike money through me. I'll make sure he gets it.
The meme lives on. Okay. Parker, $5. Shout out to Ben Dixon. So awesome to have him on the show. I think it's awesome and funny you all had Rebecca Azor on before Ben. They do a show together.
Yeah, that's how I met them. That was like one of the first shows I was ever on. That's how I met them both. But Rebecca is my girl. I love Ben is my boy, but Rebecca is my girl. That is my good sis. So of course, anything I do, I make sure Rebecca is one of the first people I bring on in some way. I love Rebecca always.
She's amazing. They were both inevitable though, like inevitable guests for sure.
I also think like a lot of our guests up to this point haven't really been YouTubers in our similar space. We just. A lot of it's been sort of people, like kind of like reaching out to different areas, but we'll definitely have more people like Ben on again, and Ben himself, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Styx Dragon Sharon with $2. Dragon love to you all. Thank you so much. We have a blank to Matt Binder.
Oh, John Deere with $10. Thank you so much, my friend.
Taking that big John Deere money.
Hell yeah.
€5 from Venetia David. Congratulations on Mike's rightful restoration of monetization. Appreciate your work, sir. Thank you so much. You all are
if it's euros, if it's euros, then Venetia's watching at like 4 a.m. over there.
I know. Yeah, all the European viewers.
Dedicated.
I mean, they stay up all night to watch us, so that's dedication.
It's British pounds, but whatever. It's okay.
Oh, well, that was pounds. Oh,
Yeah, it was British.
We did this last week too, I think, because someone reached out to me and was like, "You're mixing up euros and pounds." We're bad. We're bad, Mike. We're bad.
Yeah, ignorant Americans. This is for you, Bender.
For me, the UK is still part of the EU in my world. Okay, there was no Brexit.
Oh, there you go.
So that's why. There you go.
Although
John
they never
Deere,
always have separate currency though.
Yeah,
they always had separate currency.
They always had pounds.
They were the only ones that did that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh right, they did. Right. Well, then
No
we're just fucking idiots. We're just fucking idiots.
It was a good excuse idea, but
John Deere with a super chat again, $10, or maybe this was the same one, and StreamYard messed up. So either I don't know. But John Deere.
I see two separate ones.
Oh, all right. For fuck's sake, please look into Glenn Greenwald and Matt Hale circa 2000. Glenn was a Nazi lawyer in 2000, was unknowingly, quote unquote, involved in a plot to murder a federal judge. I don't know about that last part. I know he did defend, yes. But I mean, Glenn's always had that libertarian streak, and the ACLU has their position is that these people, white supremacists, have rights in this country too. They would fight for their ability to protest back in the day. I don't think they do it anymore, but like in the 90s and early 2000s, they certainly were doing that
too.
Yeah.
We have another one for Bender.
This one with a $10 super chat, calling it right now. Lauren Boebert's dad is Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Oh! For those of you who don't know, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to this saga, but there was serious rumors for a long time that Lauren Boebert's father was pro wrestling legend Sweet Stan Lane from the NWA and Territory days.
Really?
And to the point where he did a DNA test back in the I think 90s or something to prove that he wasn't the father. And he wasn't at the time. It was proven he wasn't. But then it came out that the lab technician who did the DNA test was taking money to help out people who didn't want to pay child support for kids. So then there was a long,
oh my God.
Yeah. So she went to, I think she went to jail and stuff. Like they were like some professional athlete paid her all the money to get not take responsibility for his kid. And so then it came out that, we can't trust his DNA test. So they just got together recently. Lauren Boebert actually met with Stan Lane, I believe, and they did this DNA test. And they got the results, and it looks like Stan Lane is actually not her father. Lauren Boebert's mother was insistent, though, for decades that Stan Lane was her father. So, interesting and weird story. Yeah.
That's very weird.
That's what that super chat is in reference to, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to Raheem who entered the stream. We have another one for Bender.
For Resto Montero with the super chat, the rich have only have short-term thinking. My workplaces open themselves to hundreds of thousands in liability to save a few just this week. I'm not sure what this was referencing, but it seems obvious, like not surprising.
Yeah,
at all.
I think that's when we were talking about how rich people are like, I don't know, they have nowhere to go and they're creating this terrible world. I don't know, it was an earlier conversation.
Yeah. $5 from Tara. So glad you got monetization back. It wouldn't be the same without you here on YouTube. Thank you so much, Tara. Tara's one of my mods, so we love Tara. Everybody send Tara lots and lots of love. She's brilliant. We have one for Bender.
Blex, actually, congrats to Mike for getting monetization back. Smiley face. That's good. I like that, Blex. That's the best one so far.
Oh, you enjoyed that one, did you?
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. Yeah, we should keep that up. Keep that same vibe going.
All right, $5 from Asymptomatic Behavior. I was already side-eyeing Cornell when he wanted us to rally around him after he didn't get tenure at Harvard. Congrats, Mike. Ole, love you. Very
Thank
sweet.
you. Thank you. Hi.
We have $5 from Angela. Congrats on getting your money flow back, cash flow back. Please put Wes to Please push West to clarify his position on trans rights and other things that distinguish him
Let me
from
tell you
right-wing
something.
populists.
You do not want that old black man to clarify his position on trans rights. He has been silent. You all need to. I've said this before. Sometimes silence is a favor. Like, okay, silence is a favor.
I could swear he's talked up on this issue before though, and it's been he has a good position. Like,
I feel like I remember that too.
I'll stand by that
The
as
only
well.
people who are gonna like him right now are all black people in Tank. Trust me. Do
Actually,
not get-
I'm not. I don't think he'd have a bad. Honestly, I don't think he'd have a bad position on trans rights. What I want to hear is his position on vaccines.
He recently
yes.
wrote on May 12th. He had decided, unprovoked, I'm going to start writing things about how DeSantis, Ron, I'm at war with the LGBT community. DeSantis is moving in the spirit of a revolutionary. He is ready to say some bullshit. Trust me.
Did he call him?
And he should be asked.
Did he call him Brother DeSantis too? Did he drop the brother brother? It'd be funny if he said Brother Ron.
Brother Ron.
I couldn't read that article though because of the paywall. Were you able to actually read it, Ole? Because I want to know like what he said specifically.
I believe I read it. I'll copy and paste it and give it to you. I'm gonna put a copy and paste it in a rough word for you.
I tried to put it into 12-foot ladder, but it didn't remove the paywall, so I couldn't read the shit.
I'm gonna be correct. I got you.
Okay,
has he said anything? Has he said anything about Brother Chomsky and the recent allegations of his? I'm not gonna go there. I was gonna say the allegations. With
Chomsky,
Brother Epstein.
No, stop.
Brother Epstein. Oh, geez.
Yeah, the Chomsky stuff sucks.
I gotta be honest. I have not read about this, and I feel like I don't want to.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
not aware.
It's really bad. It's really bad. There's no way. I don't like. Listen, I don't know whatever Chomsky did, but this money entanglement happened well after Epstein got out of jail for already doing what he was doing.
After taking a sweetheart deal.
Yeah.
And Noam Chomsky said none of your business in response to the Epstein. He actually said none of your business. Chomsky said this. What the fuck? Mind blowing to me. He's canceled.
Worst thing you could say. Yeah.
Yeah. $4.99 from T Calico. You are all my favorite. Thank you. We have one for Binder.
Tunbosin Oyanuga with the super chat. Congrats on Humanist Report getting remonetized. You know what? This has worked out in my favor too. Mike, you should get
outweighed.
You should get remonetized every week.
I feel like I retweeted you, Mike. I should get some thanks as well in the super chats. I'm still here. Guys.
That's true. Everybody did like go to bat, so we could spread the wealth around. Another one for Binder.
Jenna Doherty with a super chat. Binder, thank you for reposting my Bridging the Gap interviews between a trans person and a Christian. I really appreciate it. For those not in the loop, the YouTube podcast is Too Punk to Be a Hippie. Yeah, definitely check that out.
Okay.
Jenna had a conversation with one of the members of the Christian ska punk band Five Iron Frenzy, and it's really good.
Oh, okay. Huh. I'll check that out. We have another one for Binder.
KD, damn it. Squirtle Gang is Ben Dixon's chat name. I didn't know that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did not know either. We have one from me about Binder. I can see Matt flipping over to the fascist easily.
What?
What? That one's for me. Jules T. That's for me.
Oh, that's for you.
I can see Matt
Okay.
flipping over to the fascist easily. I
no,
agree.
No surprise there. It comes from David Dole's audience.
It's so great to be read twice.
Takes a fascist to know a fascist.
Hey, I'll take you down with me. It's all right.
We have a new member, and we have one for Binda.
Foresta with a super chat. Is Binda Matt's dead name? What? I don't even know if I get that one.
Another one.
Okay, whatever.
Whoa, this is for you, Binder.
Oh, Michael Reich. $50. No reason. I just wanted to piss away some money. I'm quite mad. I love it. Thank you so much, Michael Reich.
$50.
Oh
and
my
as a
God.
new fascist, love the last name. It's really great. Let's go.
All right, we
You should
have
put the
hello
money
to
towards
Chico.
new Apple VR headset. Then he's gonna be first in line with that.
Oh, I'm not getting that shit. That was so dumb. I'm
That's the
sorry.
dumbest shit I've ever seen.
They
Okay,
can't
hello
even get
to
FaceTime to stop failing, and they want to be out here thinking that they can make smart house technology.
Right?
Like, stick to the rivers and lakes that you're fucking used to, okay? What? The phone
Oh.
runs hot.
Yeah, it does run hot. My phone, fuck. I've had this bitch for 5 years, and it's still going, but it's not looking good.
That bitch will sizzle.
It burned your fucking hands.
Oh wait,
Hello
someone.
to
This isn't a super chat, but someone, Sassy Sassaraya, just recalled. I think we talked about it on this show. Sassy says Matt was at January 6th. I don't know if you recall that Twitter user taking screenshots of someone with the long hair and the hoodie up, saying, Matt Binder at January 6th? I mean, it was me, right? Yeah.
Unbeknownst to all of us, Matt has a totally different life that we're not aware of.
Oh, Lance has a Chico shirt. Let me see.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
Oh, I love it. I want one.
It's
Do you
cute,
sell
right?
them?
That
Send
is
me a link.
amazing.
I want a Chico
Yeah.
shirt. Send me a link. I want one.
I will hook you up.
Oh, thank you.
That is the cutest thing I've ever seen. And also, hello to Chico. Chico is a very good boy.
Yeah, he ran in and then ran back out. I think he wants.
I
food.
love that shirt.
Well, thank you, I appreciate it.
Raheem is literally on the floor right by my foot, like stretched out.
Oh.
Like, please come.
Will he grab you and like attack your feet? My cat would attack my legs.
I'm gonna show you what he's.
Oh wait,
we didn't read that one. Who's that for?
Sorry, this is for you.
This one with a $10 super chat. Oh man, this super chat is the
is like
trifecta. This is the
there's layers to
trifecta
this.
right here. Congratulations on David Dole for getting remonetized. Always liked watching the Humanist Report. Kissy face emoji. So this is a check mark for confusing David Dole and Mike Figueredo, which apparently is
Happened
a
to
thing.
both of us.
But I think this one is clearly aware and joking, because they're also giving me the super chat for the congratulations on the remonetization.
Mm-hmm.
This is layers. This is the inception.
This is next
of-
level. Yeah. Kathy N with a $5 super chat. I want to give a shout out to Mike for gamely struggling to say my last name in his thank you vid. Glad you got things resolved. Thank you so much. For those of you who don't know, I posted a 15-minute video just going through all of the new like Patreons that signed up. And oh my God, I butchered some of your names like so badly, but I brought on the doggies to make it better as kind of like, I'm sorry, here's a dog. So I appreciate that. We have $2 from Parker. Has David or Mike finished Zelda Tears of the Kingdom? David, how about you?
No, I'm on, I guess, the fourth dungeon. I guess.
Okay.
So I assume it's the last one before the boss dungeon, which I assume that exists. But I died in the boss. I don't have enough hearts. I mean, I suck at the game, so I need to get more hearts to.
How many more of these are there?
How many what?
I'm feeling
Super
like
chats?
David Dole. Like,
I feel bad for both of you. You guys don't have to stay here if you don't want. Like, don't.
You guys.
I do love your company. I don't know why I feel insecure to you.
You guys started staying because of a very specific episode, which did involve you guys.
Oh,
and now
I thought it was an after party. Like y'all were still like talking and stuff.
Oh no, we're literally just reading super
Reading
chats.
out
It takes
super
this
chats.
long. And you damn well better not complain about it, because the longer I sit here, the better it is for me. So we're gonna keep rolling here, all right?
I have separation anxiety when like one of you leaves and like the whole group is not together. Then it's like, oh, this feels like wrong. Like I'm like my dog whenever when we leave to get groceries or something. As for me,
No, I haven't. And but I here's another problem. A lot of freaking games are coming out. Diablo 4 just came out. I'm playing a bit of that. I'm also trying to get my backlog done. I'm playing Ys Origins. Like I'm playing another couple of other games. And then Final Fantasy 16 comes out at the end of the month. Like this is just ridiculous. But I do want to beat Zelda. But it's a game I think I'm going to keep coming back to, because there's so much to do in that game. There's so much exploration. Like it's just a massive. It's an amazing game.
Have you checked, David, how many hours you put into it?
I haven't
mine.
checked this week. I checked last week. It said 40 hours. I'm probably around 50 at this point now, I think.
I checked mine yesterday, and
What are you
I
at?
put in 85 hours into the game. I'm where you are. I'm up to. I haven't gone to it, but I have one more temple left. Now I'm kind of just going through the depths, and I'm like 30%.
Those are that's great. Like the game is so frick. There's 3 layers. There's 3 different
endless.
maps. Like,
Yeah,
it's a massive
I'm getting
friggin' game.
really good gear.
Crazy.
I'm just taking my time. I'm loving it. I'm not gonna play anything else probably
exactly.
for a while.
I'm not rushing it either. I'm just enjoying it.
Did you guys see that? Did you guys see that news that was coming out today in like comicbook.com and other like geek websites? And I say that in a positive manner, like those geek news websites. But those loser websites. Apparently, Nintendo is in talks with Illumination to do a Zelda movie.
Oh, of course. There's so much money to be made. I mean, there's this idea that they'll probably end up at some point doing a Super Smash movie where it's like all the like Marvel basically. They'll each have their own friggin' movie, and then they'll all have like a singular movie where they all come together. Like it's very likely. There's so much money on the table.
I actually do have to take off. I gotta go feed my dog. I see you all on
Bye,
the next
Lance.
one.
All right, bye.
Don't feel bad.
Peace,
I rated
Lance.
you humanist report.
Oh, thank you so much.
Nice.
Okay, so let me go to the next one. This is from C Majik, $2. Texted monetized Mike. YouTube feedback 50 times. Happy for you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I wasn't sure if like creating a hashtag was a good idea because I'm a boomer, but I thought, we gotta have like some type of thing to track or way of tracking it, I guess.
You did that on Twitter or something?
Yeah, in my YouTube video, I said use the hashtag monetize Mike, just because I thought maybe like I was just trying to do anything, I wasn't really sure what would make the best splash.
The way this C Magic put it, they said texted hashtag monetize Mike. So for a second, I was like, damn, did Mike have a mobile phone text message campaign? Like, did he post Neil, the CEO of YouTube's phone number, and was like doing a mass text message campaign on this guy?
I'm not that bold. We have 20 to Cutthroat Jingle from Cutthroat Jingle. Left is best. Love
Cutthroat Jingle, buddy. Put some respect on that word.
Juggalo.
Juggalo.
Oh, Juggalo. Oh, I don't know why I read that as. What did
Everyone
I say? Jingle.
Come and see the greatest.
Did Olay just leave and not say bye? Is that what just happened?
Yeah.
She's got to come back. Olay, you didn't say bye.
It's all right.
Okay, this one's for Binder.
I prefer this view.
Tokyo Hans with the super chat. David, I'll totally show you around Japan. Matt, the money is still going to you though. And I gotta shout out this.
Close to friends, then.
I gotta shout out.
But not that close.
I gotta shout out this person. Oh, I can't find the comment, but I think his name was like Steven or something. When we were talking about which one of us would be the most likely to go right wing, I mean, it's pretty clear. It's right in the name. I can't believe I didn't think of this. Steven chatted the rational nationalist.
I've heard that since the day I made the channel. That's an old
joke.
Oh,
really? I didn't know that.
Joke.
I think it's funny. I didn't think of that.
Some people thought, "Are you a nationalist?" Like, there was one point where in my Twitter bio, on the Rational National Twitter bio, I had to be like, "By the way, I'm not a nationalist." I was seeing it, so I was like seeing in comments, like, obviously I'm not. Like, watch the videos, but whatever.
That's funny. I'm just realizing you have a link to the past shirt.
I'm a
David.
member of
I love
a country that is national. What?
David's gonna get really. He's gonna hit a breaking point and be sick of the joke rational nationalist. He's gonna go, all right, you know what? Enough of this. I'm changing the name to make it obvious who I am. Rational National Socialist. That should fix everything.
Oh man.
No, I was saying that I like your shirt, David. I didn't realize it was a link to the past. Very cool.
Oh yeah.
Love it.
Linkin Park kind of text to it.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, I didn't notice that. Speaking of you, David, I think this is for you.
That is mine. Thank you, Cutthroat Juggalo. Yes, much needed. $20 is great. It'll go to a new game for me. Or maybe it's diapers, something important.
All right, Michael Gregory with 220 Canadian. I am glad Humanist Report is back. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. We have 23.99 in euros from Zeitways. I would be interested in your opinion about West's Ukraine stance. Cornel West's Ukraine stance, pretty much saying he would stop supporting them and then sit down with Putin and tell him now they are defenseless so he can stop the invasion or something.
I didn't
have
see his
not.
response. So it's hard to know.
Yeah, I'd have to see what he said specifically, and I haven't really been following it as much myself.
If he said that,
So-
that's really dumb. I mean, if you stop supporting Ukraine and sit down with Putin and say they are now defenseless, you can stop the invasion. You know what's going to happen. I mean, does West understand? If West said this, does he understand what
I don't think
Putin wants to do? He wants to literally take over Ukraine. He wants to bring Ukraine under the fold of Russia. Like that's the operation here. A defenseless Ukraine means Putin will just go in and do that. He's not going to. Okay, I'll
West
stop.
wouldn't
the
say
invasion.
that specifically. I mean, if he said that, then. But I'd have to see what he said, so I don't want to like comment on something unless I.
Right.
I
Yes.
saw it.
I'm just
That
going by
seems-
what is being said here, whether or not West said this or not. This line of thinking is just not. It just doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, it might be in the Democracy Now! Interview. Although, to be fair, I just kind of scanned it to get to the People's Party part. So I haven't seen the whole thing yet, but I'll check it out. $10 from Themic. Keep up the good work. Binder, this is to me.
Unbelievable.
$1.99 from George Arrett. A couple bucks as a remonetization present. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. $2 from Sarah Birnbaum. This is my new must-see Thursday. I'm glad to hear that. That's awesome. $5 from 0PE. Mike, can we please get an accessible playlist with your outro music? Yeah, I'm trying to think about the best way to do this. I was thinking about just like throwing all the outro music in one long video and then putting timestamps, but that probably wouldn't be the easiest way to listen. Although I'm not sure like how. I don't know. I could upload them to SoundCloud, but I don't want it to like mess with the podcast. I'd have to look into it, but yeah, I'll figure something out for sure. $7 Canadian from Michael Gregory. I was banned from YouTube back in 2021. It lasted for 28 days. Well, hey, I'm glad that you're back. This one is for Binder.
Jenna Doherty with a $10 super chat. Also, as a trans activist, I'm sending huge love to Lance for his dedication to helping us. I also was recognized by my city as a trans rep for Pride. On top of the interview life is pretty amazing right now.
Wow.
Congratulations, Jenna. And I'll let Lance know that. Yeah, Lance is really good on this beat specifically. He definitely deserves the props.
Yeah, absolutely. We have 7 Canadian from Michael Gregory. I am a Leninist, Trotskyist, and supporter of a group called the Bolshevik Tendency. Thank you. $10 from Stoic Jeff. During the discussion of the People's Party, if there were no labels, we would vote on who has done more for communities versus who can get more money for corporations. I mean, yes, but this isn't just like any organization. Like the party that you run for president with is very significant.
I mean, this also exist in a vacuum. Like you have to understand where the money goes, right?
Right.
I mean, also, if we're going to talk about which parties have actually done more for communities, whether you like it or not, just by the fact of how large they are, it's the Democratic Party more so than the Green Party or any third party,
especially People's Party.
I mean, just think about the local Democratic parties all across the country, whether it be just like in like the Queens Democratic Party, Brooklyn Democratic Party, or the statewide party. Like it just. You can't compete with something that large on that level.
Yeah, and honestly, as much as I hate the Democratic Party, they're to the left of the People's Party based on what they've been saying. So, I mean, I want nothing to do with that party. Fuck that party. I don't like the transphobia. They're canceled. I don't want anything to do with it.
Right. The Democratic Party, is yeah. I mean, right.
What's the point of an alternative to Democrats if they're to the right of Democrats? Make it make sense. You know, that's kind of my perspective. Yep. So we have one for Binder.
Tokyo Hans at David again. Forgot to mention I also have a 2-year-old. Let's schedule a play date in Tokyo.
Oh, how about that? Awesome.
That'd be really cute.
For sure.
That would be.
No,
Tokyo,
I'm not going there anytime soon, but when he's like 10 years old, we'll have
Tokyo, you should plan this play date back and forth with David in my super chats.
Olay she didn't say bye and she left.
Yeah, I told you. We're all offended. It's okay.
I'm feeling like a backstabbing here. Like we're about to have a new leftist mafia drama.
We have another one for Binder.
Damn, Cedar with a super chat, laughing emoji. Binder's bits. That's pretty.
That's a good one.
It's a good one.
This one is for me.
Oh, that's for you.
Katie Sheppy says thanks. I think it's Sheppy. Says thanks for the fun Thursday evenings. You're welcome. It's fun for us as well. And actually, I'm getting tired. So I'm going to roll through the rest of mine. I only have like 4 more left. So
go ahead.
Pick them out here. Philippe says that stupid Dark Knight quote about living long enough to see yourself become the villain captures so many leftists, particularly influential ones. Yeah, it is true. And it's I always struggle because I can't. It's so hard for me to put myself in their position, like mentally, because I don't know how you do that knowingly, which is why I'm probably too charitable. I'm probably too naive with these changes and just assume, oh, they don't even realize they gradually change.
Relatable, David,
around them or something. But yeah, it's just like I do. In reality, they're probably doing it for money in a lot of cases, and it's just some people don't have morals. I guess I don't know. It's wild to me. Like if I would never change my position in politics, but if I didn't do this, I would be doing something else, right? Like I don't. The idea that you would shift for money, just get a new job, like do something else. Like if money's your concern, then I don't know, make money some other way than changing the world in a bad way. It just seems bizarre to me.
The only YouTube pivot that me or David would make would be launching like an alternative to IGN, so we could do like video game podcasts,
some gaming stuff, definitely.
Yeah.
Actually, we talked a bit about maybe doing some gaming streams. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be super fun.
If you guys play Fortnite, I'll be down.
I do not, but I
have no interest.
Yeah.
I played it a bit. It's okay, but I'm not super into online games, so there's very few online games I like get deep into.
See, that's all I play.
There we go. Joe Hobson says, for the sleepy old man, thank you so much. I am a sleepy old man. Much appreciated. Nelson. There's Nelson. Nelson Mercer says, just tuning in. What are your thoughts on Cornel West and his presidential announcement? We had a nice long talk about that earlier in the show.
You have to go back and watch.
Yeah, just rewind. You'll find it.
It was quite lengthy too. Can't really redo it right now. It was
a good segment, actually.
Yeah, it was really good.
The Mix says, glad your monetization is back, Mike. There you go. Hey, thank you.
Nice.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you, person. Thank you, the Mick. Last one here from Evan, if I can find it. Evan Christensen says Cornel West is a personal bio with the Federalist Society as a contributor and sits on a board of liberal arts education think tank with the president of the Heritage Foundation and Chris Rufa. There are so many ties that I just wasn't aware of if the stuff is true. I am.
I'm sad.
I don't know.
I'm tired.
I'm sad. I'm surprised, first of all, but I'm also disappointed. I don't know what to think. I want to know the motivation. Like, I want to know, is this money? Like, what's going on here? Because he's a smart guy. So
he's had a whole lifetime of advocacy. It's just so hard to imagine like an actual pivot, at this stage of his life. But I mean, we've seen crazier shit in the United States. So I don't know.
One last one here coming in late. Nelson Mercer says, fine, I'll watch it again. LOL. Well, you missed the meat of the show. You have to go back. You missed all the stories.
We said a lot about that.
Peace,
good night,
David.
folks.
Have a good
night.
Good night, David.
Week. Good night.
And then there were two.
Oh my god.
We're the hardcore of the leftist mafia. We're like we're the guys they send out to actually do all the work. Well, they sit in their high fat cat whatchamacallit. Oh my god, I'm having a mental block right now. What's the top room in a hotel?
Ivory Tower.
Or we could say Ivory Tower too.
Yeah.
We could say Ivory Tower. That works. And they're the ones calling the hits, and we're the ones who actually go out and take care of business.
True.
The penthouse, right? Thank you. The penthouse. Right. Thank you. Is this for you or me?
This is for you.
Spin me a sailcloth with a super chat. Did you know both John Locke and Isaac Newton studied alchemy?
What?
Here. I don't know what this is related to.
Okay, so this one is for me, Archangel, with a $10 super chat. Figured it out finally, but Mike can have my donation now since Bender will likely hoard it. Sarcasm, JK, love you all.
No, it's all good. Archangel already gave me, so it's okay.
This one's for you.
Mr. Husteen with a $10 super chat. Just wanted to thank you all for making things make more sense, especially in such an approachable way. Been radicalized for 3 years now, but it took a while to really make sense of all these issues. Oh, I appreciate that, Mr. Husteen, really.
Very nice.
And if you ever want to, I would be interested in you going into more details too about anything specific you're talking about. That'd be very interesting to know. Different episode though. It's late.
Mm-hmm. $2 from me. Choco Mingo says, "Hey Mike, did you see the furry interview? It's wild." I did not. I'm not sure what interview you're referring to, but I'm not sure. I'm curious though. Let's see. Okay, so we have this one's from me to you. Give this to Bender to bolster his funds for hunting down Jimmy Dore alt accounts. And this one's for you.
Damn Cedar with a super chat for Bender's right-wing alter ego. He appreciates that.
This one's for me, $5 for Olay. I love your shirt. She always has really cool shirts, really cool art. She's got the style that we all lack. $2 to Brenneman. Shout out to 12foot.io and damn this 50 chairs characters limit. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, 12foot.io. If you put an article with a paywall in it, you can get past the paywall. I'm not endorsing this. I think it's egregious. I would never do such a thing. I don't know the legality of it, but that's something that you can do to bypass some paywalls.
Interesting.
So we have Michael Gregory with 220 Canadian. I also love Final Fantasy. I've never played a Final Fantasy, but the new one looks interesting.
You've never played Final Fantasy at all?
No, not a single one. I take that back. The Final
I'm
Fantasy X on PS2, I played like a couple of hours, and I liked it, but I didn't really like get into it. I just kind of like walked away. But aside from that, I have not played it. I'm gonna have to check out the new one. This one's for you. $1.99 from Denise
with a super chat. Just sending me a super chat. I appreciate it, Denise. No comments added.
Nice. We have $10 from Themic. Glad your monetization is. I think this was for David, right? I can't remember, but if not, thank you so much, Themic. This one is for you, Bender.
Kowalski with a super chat. I missed the whole episode. Sorry, but Mike won.
Yes.
No, I'm happy.
Also,
I am happy Mike is remonetized. Obviously, I'm just having fun with it.
There's always a couple of people
to everybody
who will actually think that like when we're giving each other shit, we're serious about it. When it's like, no, that's just the vibe of the show. We should talk each other, but we love each other.
Right.
This one is for you.
Themic with a $10 super chat. Great work as always, Ole. Is it for me or was this for David? I don't remember.
This is for you.
Oh wow. Okay. Cool. Well, Themic's been throwing money around to everybody today. Thanks.
Yeah. Big spender. Okay, we have another for you.
T-Types with a super chat. If any of you are ever in Chicago, you have to go to the Galloping Ghost. It's the biggest arcade in North America. Gamer heaven. Is it really? I didn't. Sounds good. Got to check it out.
Yeah. This one is for Bender.
The Emo Dragon with a super chat. Mike was remonetized. Heartbreaking about Cornell. Yes. Good for the first part. Bad for the second part. Of that super chat.
Another for Bender.
Foresta with another super chat. Right wing pivot. Matt Bindor. Is that how right wingers? Maybe if I'm like some like sort of Nordic fascist, it looks like that would be how my name would be spelled.
With the accent over the O.
Right. The Ulo or whatever they call it. I don't even know.
I don't know. The 2 dots. Okay, so this one is for me. Nelson Mercer, 550 Canadian. What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? I am not sure. But thank you.
Sounds dirty.
I didn't even go there mentally, but damn. All right, $1.99 to me from Kowalski. Mike won. Yay. Nice. And that's it.
That's it? No, I see more coming in, my friend.
Oh, let me refresh. Oh, yeah, okay. So we have $1.99 from Emo Dragon. Sending some love to you, Mike. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Emo Dragon. Everybody go follow the Emo Dragon on Twitter. He's a very, very good poster, based person. We love him. One more. So Cutthroat Juggalo, $5 says, I haven't seen people this divided since Edward v. Jacob. Oh, yeah. What were you a big Team Edward or Team Jacob fan, Matt?
Me? I couldn't give two shits about that movie. I think vampires are probably cooler than werewolves, but not those vampires.
That's fair. I would pick a team, but I don't know which one is Edward and which one is Jacob.
Edward's the vampire, Jacob's the werewolf.
Okay, I'd go with the vampire, so I guess I'm Team Edward. But yeah, those vampires are... They're beta! I don't like those vampires. Okay, let me refresh one more time. We have another one.
Yeah, there's more
from
coming
Kowalski. Team Jacob, vampires suck. Okay. I would have anticipated Kowalski to be more of a Team Edward guy. But, you learn more about people every day.
Right. Well, Kowalski's a farmer. So maybe he enjoys the more natural aspects of the werewolf over the vampire.
Possibly. I think that's it.
Is it? Ooh, look at that. We are. Wow. That was this show went by really fast. It was so streamlined.
Which makes me sad because I really enjoyed these. I want them to go by slow to savor it.
I also thought it was a tight ship. I think these clips that I never get around to cutting them, but I know you guys do. And I think it's going to make for some good, concise YouTube clips that maybe I will have to actually cut.
You should.
Or just rip yours and steal them and re-upload them on my channel.
I'll probably work on the timestamps later tonight. So yeah, I'll send those over.
All right, cool. This was great, everybody.
One last one.
Oh, you got one last one. Go ahead.
Yeah, Dragos Ardeline. I prefer classic Dracula style vampires. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't like the vampires with like the interview with the vampires, like the romantic, like Victorian era style vampires. I don't like those vampires. The cool vampires are like the ones from what was that movie, 30 Days of Night, the horror movie that was based on that graphic novel.
Yeah,
those were cool vampires. And
those
also,
were really cool.
Gangrel of the WWE era. the vampire wrestler, for anyone who watched the Attitude Era, the late 90s, early 2000s.
I don't know about that, but the 30 Days of Night vampires were good.
Nosferatu is a great vampire too. The OG vampire movie. Yes, that's
the vampire from the Castlevania anime. That's a good one. Very cool. We got a couple more actually.
Did we?
So we have Cutthroat Jingle with Juggalo. Why do I keep reading that as Jingle? Cutthroat Juggalo, I'm so sorry, with $2. Vampires suck, literally. Okay, I'm done. We have another one here. This one's to me from Gen Socialist, $5. Hey, Mike, been watching you for about 6 to 7 years, and that's crazy to me. Thinking of starting up a channel and chose the theme Gen Socialist. How do you like it? I love it. I think that's a really good name. That's very creative.
That is a good name. I like that.
Much better than the Humanist Report.
Is that it? Oh. There's not.
One more from Kowalski. $1.99. The Strain vampires were horrifying.
I never finished watching that show. I got into it and then I don't remember why I got out of it. It was good from what I saw.
I did not see that show.
All right. Is that really it? Oh shit! Wow.
Last chance, folks. Going once, going twice.
Oh, how could I forget? Right. Also, talking about vampires, really quick. Bela Lugosi. How could I not mention friggin' Bela Lugosi? Christ. The best vampire.
Which one is that from?
Oh, he's like he is Dracula. He is the...
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Oh, I think we got one more.
Ooh.
We got a couple more. So we have 7 Canadian from Michael Gregory. I liked Angel the Vampire with a Soul. He was from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I remember that show, actually. I never saw it or Buffy. I watched the movie Buffy when I was little and really liked it, but I never watched the show or Angel.
The movie Buffy was great. The show Buffy had its moments.
I remember there was like an Xbox game based on the show, I think, that was supposedly really good back in the day. This one's for you, Matt.
New York gets nuked, says Kowalski. It does in The Strain? Oh, boy. I got to watch it. Thanks for the spoiler.
Another one for you.
Damn Cedar with a super chat. The worst vampires are SCOTUS. Yes, they do have the frilly costumes. Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
Adam, this isn't a super chat, but Adam Cuthbert in the chat. Too bad Christy Swanson is a right-wing fascist now. Yes, Buffy, the original Buffy from the movie, is a right-winger.
What?
Sad times. Like the actress is like a hardcore right-winger.
Did you see that Alicia Silverstone from Clueless endorsed RFK Jr.?
Did she? It makes sense. She seems like a what's her face with the goop bullshit? She seems like one of those.
Oh, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow. Yeah, she seems like one of those. The yoga fascists or whatever they are.
Yeah, those weird. I don't even know what the fuck political ideology that is. Just weird like homeopathic shit. Oh, there's some more actually. We got 2 more for you.
Ooh. Kowalski with a super chat. A good story is immune to spoilers. That's true. That's true. And Omega with a super chat. How dare you not mention Dio Brando?
It sounds familiar, but I cannot picture it. Another one for you.
Ooh. Cutthroat Juggler with a super chat. Are you guys share pooling super chats? Hashtag based, hashtag socialism. I mean, we're not. I think it's just because it's more work than it's worth. I mean, just if say you want to give $5, just split it between each of us. You know what I mean? And that way you get extra chats too. You get multiple chats to read.
True.
Yeah.
Although one day, like I'm sure that we'll be more official and launch like a YouTube channel and be, we'll figure it all out then.
I mean, I guess if this does eventually grow to something bigger, maybe even it has its own Patreon and everything. And then we will obviously pool and share that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's headed in that direction where people really love it. We all love doing it. So, I mean, we'll be more official then and we'll become much more, it'll be a co-op, right? But yeah. One more for you.
Ooh, Jonathan S. with a super chat. Did you guys see anything about Sam Cedar's voice actor co-worker getting arrested for January 6th?
Oh, yeah.
No, I did not say anything. I totally forgot. I did see that, though. Yeah, the voice of Jimmy Pesto, Bob from Bob's Burgers' arch nemesis. He's one of the guys who was at January 6th. And he was arrested finally this week for his involvement. Federal charges too, dudes, and a number of misdemeanor charges too, I think. But the felony one is going to be bad for him, obviously.
Jimmy Pesto.
I mean, Jimmy Pesto ain't going to be on the show anymore. They've already said he's gone. Yeah,
that's funny. You've got a couple more.
Ooh, Tunbosen with a super chat. Za Worldo. What's that? Za Worldo? I don't know what that.
I don't know.
Oh, this is anime. I'm guessing name dropping vampires from anime.
Oh, okay. There's a bunch of or actually I think it was vampire anime. It might be like demons. I watched a bunch of anime trailers last year going through shows, so it's all blending together, but they probably have some good vampire anime though. Another one for you.
Oh, Omega with a super chat. Also, What We Do in the Shadows. Bat. I have to still watch that show.
That's good.
I've heard good things though. Yes, I'll have to catch it.
It's very, very funny.
Oh, and also YouTube just told me that was the first super chat Jonathan S ever gave me. So thank you, Jonathan. Welcome to the super chat crew.
I didn't know you could see that. That's very cool.
I just saw this. YouTube. Open up your YouTube studio. Go to the actual live stream.
Mm-hmm.
Are you in it where like the analytics are and everything?
Not yet. Let's see.
Like the actual for like that specific video. This is a brand new thing too that they just added. It's the first time I'm seeing it. I'll show it to you.
So analytics for the video.
Yes.
Okay.
So you're like in that room where you see the super chat on the right hand side, and you see like the concurrent viewers and the likes.
Yes.
Okay. Now go to the side where the the live chat is, and you see where it says top chat at the top.
Oh wait, I'm in the wrong. Oh, so go into like the Creator Studio page itself, analytics.
Yes, for that specific video. Yes, for that specific live stream, I should say.
Okay.
Are you in there?
Advanced mode?
No,
I'm not seeing it.
No, the YouTube Studio.
And for the tabs, overview, reach, engagement, audience, revenue.
I don't know. No, that's not what you're supposed to look at. All right, here's what you should
weird.
do. Here's the best thing to do. Go to the public live stream for this episode and click the analytics button. When you're logged in, it should be there under the title.
Oh, right.
You see it?
Oh, okay. That takes me to a different type of. Okay. Now I see what you're saying.
Now you see the chat, the live chat on your right hand side.
Yes.
It says top chat at the top.
Yes.
Click that and look at the drop down. There used to be 2 things there. Now there's 3. And the new third one is amazing. I just found it now.
See, I only have 2. I have top chat and live chat.
Oh, they added a new one called fan funding. And when you click that, you only see super chats, super stickers, and channel memberships.
Oh, that's actually a really great feature.
Yes, it's going to be very helpful for reading super chats, whether we're doing this stream or our own streams. This is I love it. It used to be annoying to try to like corral all the super chats and stuff, but now it'll be very easy to do.
I used to go to, if you click on your revenue tab, and then there's or the earn tab now, and you go over to supers and you click
but that's
on it,
ugly.
you can bring up.
It's not as nice.
It is. It's not. Yeah.
This is actually showing them like as if they're in just the chat just full of the super chats only. It's really easy to see them all.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so this one is for me actually. $3 from Presto Wings. Sorry about that. Finally found stone slab under mud. Catching up. Thank you for that. Nelson Mercer with 22 Canadian. This is to me. That's a giant super chat. Wow, holy shit. That's why I don't trust people who are too obsessed with clean. It's just a few steps away from that yoga fascism. I vote we call it goopy fascism or something, though. I have too much love for yoga. Lululemon fascism. I like Lululemon fascism for sure. Lularu. That's another one of those weird kind of MLM-y sales.
This is Lululemon. That's different from LuLaRoe. Those are 2 different companies.
Okay.
LuLaRoe is the weird scammy
like the clothing one
scheme.
Right?
Yeah, this Lululemon's like a pretty big, well respected woman's athletic gear brand.
Oh, okay. Totally mix those up.
And I think they make more than just athletic stuff too. I think it's just but that's what they're most known for, I think.
Okay. All right, 249 from Zeitways. Joss Whedon happens to be an a-hole, unfortunately. Most of these Hollywood bigwigs are probably pieces of shit behind the scenes. But yeah, it's unfortunate. $5 from Eric Archimpong. Did Brando is from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? Oh, okay.
I think you meant to say Do Brando, yeah.
Okay. Thanks for the clarification.
Yeah,
I've not seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I am ashamed to admit, but some of these animes are they have so many seasons. It's hard to get into them.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Green Lantern with 199 pounds. We got it correct. Okay, give us our credit. Good morning from London. Yeah, man, it's crazy.
Damn,
I'll just waking up.
People really keeping us on tonight.
I know. Shit. This one's for you.
Tunbosin with a super chat. Instagram version of Twitter might come out. Yeah, I've been seeing some rumors about that. Apparently, it's going to be called Threads. We'll see how it goes. I mean, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know if Facebook's the company to make the Twitter alternative, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Meta, I should say.
All right, this one is from Kowalski. Cow emoji, blood drop emoji, tractor emoji, corn emoji. I feel like there's a deeper message here.
Vague. I love it.
Yeah, very cool. This is another one came in from Nelson Mercer, 550 Canadian. But Chip Wilson, the dude who owns Lululemon, is an Ayn Rand simp. He stinks like farts.
Yeah, I mean, all these big corporation CEOs or owners are probably right wing. My distinction was just that LuLaRoe is the scam MLM company, and Lululemon is just, they sell that shit in like Target and Walmart and stuff. It's not the one you got to convince your friends to start a business to get a hold of.
And you use like your life savings to buy a bunch of wardrobes worth of clothing that you can't sell.
Right. Are we
I think that's it. That's it.
Oh my God, folks! Thank you so much. Absolutely, seriously, really appreciate not just the super chats, but just the support overall. This show has really been growing, and I've been, quite frankly, amazed to see how. I mean, every night between we do this, between all the streams, we probably have, I would say maybe close to 2,000 regular viewers at this point, counting my YouTube and Twitch, Mike's YouTube and Twitch, David's YouTube, which is definitely the biggest of all of us. But does he stream on Twitch too? I'm not sure.
I don't think he does.
Lance's Twitch, I mean, it's got to be close to maybe 1,500, 2,000 or 2,000, but it's definitely growing, and it's awesome to see, and I appreciate it all.
Where consistently I could see, because I have like the administrator view through StreamYard, like consistently like 1,500 viewers at least throughout the show. It's lower now, but we're still above 1,000, which is really crazy.
Oh, at this point of the night, people drop off because we're just reading super chat. It's gonna happen.
Yeah,
I'm talking about like the main like 2 hours. It's with consistently like 2,000 people. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a good show. It's very good.
All right, folks. YouTube.com/Matt Binder. Definitely subscribe there. Twitch.tv/Matt Binder. Follow me there. Search Matt Binder on any social media platform. You'll find me. And if you're feeling up to it, Patreon.com/Matt Binder. Because I lost, obviously Mike's remonetization is a bigger deal, but beginning of the month, you know how Patreon is. When they charge people at the beginning of the month, you lose people because of declines and people having to cancel because of money issues. Totally get that. I'm not, but if you want to support, Patreon.com/Matt Binder. And Mike, go ahead and drop all your newly remonetized links.
Yeah, Humanist Report on YouTube. Follow me there. Patreon.com/Humanist Report. And also, I'll plug it for Ole since she didn't get a chance to. Olurinati, her video drops on, I think she said Saturday, right? Her interview.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Check that out. She posted a little bit of a teaser on Twitter, and it looks amazing. So yeah, check out Olurinati. Yeah, folks. Well, we'll see you all next week. Take care.